Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Sign into Mr. Yi, My Power is Invincible. Chapter 81, Qingyan Holy Dynasty. Yi Lingtian couldn't help but marvel when he heard the system's prompt tone. Yu Wushwang and the others, who possess peerless immortal bodies, are killing people in the same realm even in the Beidou heavenly territory. In just over a month, the three of them directly penetrated Beidou Tianyu's god list and saint list. I am afraid that all the geniuses and experts in the Beidou Tianyu will become autistic due to the actions of Yu Wushwang and the others, right? Shaked his head. Yi Lingtian was too lazy to think about it and directly checked the system properties panel. Immortal Dynasty Mode. Qingyan Holy Dynasty. Monarch. Yi Lingtian. Holy Dynasty Strength. 6th place in Martial Emperor Realm, 11th place in Martial Saint Realm, 72nd place in Martial God Realm. Immortal Dynasty Points. 319,800. Redeemable Items. Sister Tongzi, hasn't the Immortal Dynasty mode met the upgrade requirements? Can it be upgraded to the Imperial Dynasty? Yi Lingtian took a look at the system properties and couldn't help but ask. The master needs to possess the strength of the Martial Emperor realm before he can be upgraded to the Qingyan Emperor. Lowly Tongzi replied. When Yi Lingtian heard this, he couldn't help but ponder for a moment. After the last time he used excellent level Yi Fan, Yi Lingtian's cultivation level reached the top level Martial Saint, and he has never used a character card since then. Now, the Immortal Dynasty points spent to synthesize an outstanding character card are only a drop in the bucket for Yi Lingtian. How about merging an excellent character card and raising your cultivation level to Emperor Realm first? As long as he reaches the Emperor Realm, the system can upgrade the Immortal Dynasty mode and open new functions. Yi Lingtian still looks forward to every new function that is launched in the system. Think of this. Yi Lingtian did not hesitate and directly spent 23,000 Immortal Dynasty points to synthesize an outstanding character card. 5 minutes later, Yi Lingtian easily broke through the Emperor realm through the cultivation level returned by the character card, and obtained a unique sword technique called Transformation of Mortal Sword. Ding! Congratulations to the master for breaking through the Martial Emperor realm, and the Qingyan Holy Dynasty is promoted to the Qingyan Imperial Dynasty. Ding! A new function of the system has been opened, and the character card synthesis function has been upgraded again. Collecting 100 identical outstanding character cards can synthesize a peerless character card. At this moment, the system's beep sounded directly in Yi Lingtian's mind. Oh, Yi Lingtian raised his eyebrows. Unexpectedly, after being promoted to the Imperial Dynasty, the new functions added to the system are still related to the synthesis of character cards. 100 outstanding character cards can be combined into one peerless character card. Although this method of synthesizing peerless character cards requires 2 or 3 times more Immortal Dynasty points than collecting peerless fragment cards, there is still one more method. After all, peerless fragment cards are relatively rare, and the probability of getting them by signing in is extremely low. If you can't sign in and get a peerless fragment card, you can use 100 outstanding character cards to synthesize and upgrade it, which can solve an urgent need at a critical moment. After Yu Wushwang and the others passed through the Holy List, they quickly returned to the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. Yi Lingtian also once again threw the three of them into the Hongmeng Tower to practice. Although the Hongmeng Tower is not very helpful in understanding martial Dao, it still has a huge advantage in simply improving one's cultivation level. Using the time flow speed of Hongmeng Tower, Yu Wushwang and the others were quickly raised to the top level of martial saints. By the time, with the peerless talents of the three people, it is obviously not difficult to break through the Emperor realm. The three of them all have the potential to break through to the Fairyland, so Yi Lingtian naturally wants to train them with all his strength. Beidou Tianyu. The far north. Endless sea. A huge space vortex above thousands of feet of void. This is the place where the dark demon race is sealed. Ever since Zhang Baiyi's clone entered it alone and killed demon race, a martial emperor, the place has been peaceful again, without any fluctuations. However, just today, there has been no change in the space vortex, but there are waves of subtle fluctuations. If someone with excellent eyesight were here, they would be horrified to find that a small section of the formation runes densely covered in the space vortex like a spider web was broken by some mysterious force every once in a while. This situation lasted for half a day. The formation runes on the space vortex are becoming increasingly sparse. I don't know how long it took. A magic knife exuding a terrifying aura suddenly struck the space vortex, causing the formation runes on the space vortex to completely shatter. Next moment, streams of black energy, like locusts passing through, flew out of the space vortex, and then turned into silhouettes with powerful auras. Just the blink of an eye. There are thousands of figures surrounded by black demonic energy, standing in the sky above the endless sea. The void with a radius of thousands of miles was filled with a terrifying demonic energy, as if it had instantly turned into a purgatory on Earth. The leader is a tall man in black clothes who is 2 meters tall. The big man in black has a ferocious face, well-developed muscles, and a horn about 3 inches long on his head. His aura is extremely powerful, and he is not inferior to the top-level martial emperor. Ha ha, it's finally out. Back then, due to my careless demon race, I was defeated by the human race of the Beidou Sky territory and was sealed in the small world for countless years. This time I will conquer the Beidou Sky territory and regain everything I lost. The big man in black felt the atmosphere around him and couldn't help laughing proudly. Lord Kuidi, now the Beidou Heavenly Territory knows nothing about the birth of our clan. We happened to be surprised and captured a piece of territory in the Beidou Heavenly Territory to welcome the birth of our clan's demon lord. Next to the big man in black clothes with 1 horn, another dark demon with a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks, whose breath was no weaker than that of the martial emperor, said softly. Okay, follow me into Beidou Heavenly Territory. The big man in black, known as Emperor Kui, nodded, then stepped into the void, leading a team of thousands of people, and quickly headed south. Kangyu Emperor City. One of the 3 great emperor cities in Beidou Tianyu, it is located in the north of Beidou Tianyu, close to the Endless Sea in the north. This is also the location of the Kangyu Imperial Palace, one of the 3 great emperor-level forces in the Beidou Tianyu. Deep in the Kangyu Emperor's palace, sitting cross-legged in the empty hall, a peerless figure is none other than Empress Kangyu, one of the 3 martial emperors in the Beidou domain. Suddenly, Empress Kangyu's eyelashes trembled slightly, and her tightly closed beautiful eyes suddenly opened. Why do I suddenly feel uneasy? Is something big going to happen? Empress Kangyu frowned slightly. Immediately, Empress Kangyu seemed to have thought of something. The powerful consciousness of Emperor Wu realm could not help but spread overwhelmingly toward the Endless Sea in the north. Next moment, Empress Kangyu sensed a surge of heavenly demon qi and was approaching Kangyu Emperor City at an extremely fast speed. In this surging heavenly demon aura, Empress Kangyu felt the aura of the demon emperor. And there's more than one. Empress Kangyu's expression suddenly changed. There is something wrong with the seal in the far north of the Wuji Sea. The legendary dark demon race is born. Someone's coming. Empress Kangyu suppressed the fear in her heart, and her cold shouts instantly resounded throughout the hall. Immediately afterwards, a beautiful female guard appeared in front of Empress Kangyu in an instant. What is the Emperor's order? Empress Kangyu said decisively. Give me the order, everyone should evacuate to the south immediately, without making any mistakes. Hearing Empress Kangyu's words, the female guard was obviously stunned. But, the female guards were absolutely obedient to Empress Kangyu's words. Although he was a little confused, he immediately conveyed Empress Kangyu's order. After the female guard leaves, the aura of Kangyu Empress Wu Emperor realm was also exuded without reservation. Dark demon race is coming in force. Among the auras she sensed alone, there were 3 beings no less powerful than the Emperor realm. The purpose of Empress Kangyu's burst of aura was to attract the attention of Emperor Qinglei and the martial emperor of Qingyun Holy Dynasty. Otherwise, she alone would not be able to stop the dark demon race. At the same time as Empress Kangyu's aura erupted, her figure did not hesitate at all. She stepped directly across the space and came to the end of the Endless Sea, blocking the dark demon race army. Has it still been discovered? Looking at Empress Kangyu appearing in front of her, Emperor Kui, led by dark demon race, couldn't help but chuckle. Although they had been very careful to hide their aura, they still couldn't hide it from the eyes of the human race martial emperor of Beidou Tianyu. It seems impossible to find a place to live in Beidou Tianyu by surprise. But it doesn't hurt. Not long ago, the remaining primordial spirit of a heavenly demon messenger was attached to a token and entered the small world sealed by the dark demon race. It was with the tokens brought by the heavenly demon tribe's envoys that they broke the seal of the small world. Not only that, They also learned about the situation in the Beidou Heavenly Territory through the Heavenly Demon Clan envoy. Today's Beidou Tianyu human race is no longer as powerful as it once was. There are only a handful of powerful warriors in the Emperor realm. Among them was a high-level martial emperor, who was instigated by the Heavenly Demon tribe's messengers to rebel. Except that one, there are only 3 martial emperors left in the Beidou Tianyu. Not to mention their Dark Demon Lord and the main force of the Dark Demon race, the vanguard force led by him alone is almost enough to sweep across the Beidou Heavenly Territory. Human Race Queen. Emperor Kui looked at Empress Kangyu in front of him and said with a smile, "You are very good. I still need a personal maid by my side. If you are willing to surrender to me, I can consider sparing you." Empress Kangyu's eyes turned cold. She didn't talk nonsense, and slashed directly at Kuidi and others with a blast of ice sword energy. That moment, the terrifying chill instantly filled the void thousands of miles away. Wherever the sword energy passed, the surrounding void was instantly frozen, as if it was going to freeze all Kuidi and the others. Human Race Empress, with your strength, you are not qualified to act wild in front of this emperor. Kuidi looked disdainful, raised his hand and punched lightly. Click, only a crisp loud noise was heard, and the frozen space exploded instantly. The terrifying fist power not only shattered the frozen space of 10,000 feet in an instant, but also knocked Empress Kangyu back hundreds of feet. Empress Kangyu steadied her figure and her eyes became more serious. The strength of this alien demon emperor is probably comparable to the top-level martial emperor of the human race. Woman, this emperor will give you one last chance. Either surrender or die. Emperor Kui looked down at Empress Kangyu from a high position, as if he didn't take Empress Kangyu into consideration at all. Humph, what a loud tone. The great world is the territory of the human race, but it's not your turn to run wild here, the demon race. At this moment, a sound like thunder exploded in the void. Immediately, a figure wearing a blue thunder robe appeared directly in front of Empress Kangyu out of thin air. The person who came was none other than Emperor Qinglei. Empress Kangyu suddenly burst out with the aura of the Emperor realm, which immediately attracted the attention of Emperor Qinglei. He also quickly noticed the situation in the endless sea and rushed over directly across the sky. Another martial emperor. Emperor Kui raised his head and glanced at the Qinglei emperor, and sneered, "Just the 2 of you are far from qualified to stop this emperor." After Kuidi finished speaking, he punched out again. The monstrous demonic energy instantly transformed into a 1,000-foot-long black dragon python. With the aura of destroying everything, it bared its teeth and claws to attack Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei. Boom! Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei were once again knocked back 100 feet. 1 against 2, no one will be left behind. This dark demon race demon emperor is extremely powerful. Lord Kuidi, it's better to fight quickly to avoid long nights and endless dreams. At this moment, the devil emperor with a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks came forward and whispered to Emperor Kui. Although human race is not as blessed as demon race during their training, human race's creativity and resilience have reached an incredible level. Back then, Dark Demon race was ordered to invade Beidou Sky Territory, and he thought he could easily take over the Beidou Sky Territory human race. But I didn't expect it. They encountered fierce resistance from the human race in the Beidou Sky Territory. In the desperate situation, Beidou Tianyu gave birth to one after another peerless martial emperor with unparalleled combat power, and finally defeated them Dark Demon race. This time, they must not repeat the same mistakes and give Beidou Tianyu human race any chance to breathe. Good. Kuidi nodded indifferently. According to what the Heavenly Demon Clan messenger said, there is also a powerful top-level martial emperor in the Beidou Heavenly Territory. It's better to fight quickly and deal with these 2 guys first. Although the 2 human race martial emperors in front of him are somewhat weaker than him, they are still human race martial emperors after all. He can fight 1 against 2 without losing, but it is not easy to kill 2 human race martial emperors by himself. As Kuidi's words fell, the powerful auras of the other 2 demon emperors were also locked on Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei. Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei looked solemn. 1 Kuidi is enough for the 2 of them to go all out. Now with the addition of 2 demon emperors, if the martial emperor of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty did not show up, they would not be able to resist them at all. You 2 deal with that man, and this woman will be handed over to me. Emperor Kui suddenly stepped on the void with the sole of his foot, and the space of thousands of feet suddenly collapsed. His body seemed to have turned into a dark meteorite from the sky, and with terrifying power, he crashed directly into the space where Empress Kangyu was. Empress Kangyu's eyes were cold. Just when she was about to take action, a huge palm print exuding ancient aura suddenly shot out from the void. Boom! The palm print hit Emperor Kui's body impartially, causing his body to tremble suddenly and then fly backwards instantly. At the same time, a faint voice resounded throughout the world. Bullying the few with more. Do you really think that there is no one in my Beidou Tianyu? The faint voice continued to echo between heaven and earth, and a Taoist figure appeared directly in front of Kuidi out of thin air. Looking at the visitor, Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei breathed a sigh of relief. Wei Xian, the top martial emperor of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty, is finally here. Emperor Kui looked up at Wei Xian in front of him, and his pupils shrank suddenly. No doubt, the person in front of me should be the top-level martial emperor who killed the Heavenly Demon Clan messenger. As expected of an existence that can kill the Heavenly Demon Clan, it is really powerful. Although your excellency is very powerful, it is far from enough to stop my dark demon race. Why seek death for the human race in Beidou Tianyu? If you are willing to join the dark demon race, I, the dark demon race, can guarantee you the chance to enter the fairyland. Emperor Kui stared at Wei Xian and spoke slowly. The human race martial emperor in front of him not only reached the top-level martial emperor in cultivation, but his combat power was also one of the best in the same realm. Even Emperor Kui was a little afraid of such a person. Unless their dark demon race master who has surpassed the demon emperor realm takes action personally, I am afraid no one can easily defeat him. Wei Xian didn't even bother to look at Emperor Kui. The Chenjiang emperor's body suddenly condensed, and then with the power of thunder, it suppressed Emperor Kui with a palm. If you don't eat the toast, you'll be fined with alcohol. Seeing Wei Xian's direct action, Emperor Kui's expression turned cold. The surging heavenly demon qi instantly transformed into a giant python exuding ancient aura above his head, which collided with Wei Xian's suppressed palm. Boom! Suddenly there was a sound of heaven and earth shattering in the void, and a wave of air that destroyed the sky and destroyed the earth swept across. Kuidi stepped back 3 or 4 steps in the void. Before he could stabilize his figure, a pattern of the Big Dipper formed out of thin air above his head. A sword energy carrying the power of endless stars poured down on Emperor Kui like the Milky Way bursting its banks. Martial Emperor. Another top-level martial emperor takes action. Emperor Kui's expression changed drastically in shock, and the surging heavenly demon qi instantly turned into a black sky, blocking the pouring star sword qi. Click! The black sky shattered, and Emperor Kui trembled suddenly, staggering back a few steps again. Before he could catch his breath, above his head, a bright Buddha's light shone in all directions, and finally turned into a huge golden Buddha's palm, crushing him like the top of Mount Tai. On his left and right sides, there are also 2 powers that are not inferior to the golden Buddha's palm, and the broken space attacks him. On the right is a bright sword that seems to be able to split the heaven and the earth. On the right is an ice law that freezes the space instantly. Under the shroud of these 3 terrifying powers, Kuidi was immediately horrified, feeling that his whole person was shrouded in the shadow of death. The dark demon's immortal body. Emperor Kui roared angrily, and his whole body surged with magic light, and his whole body instantly transformed into a 1,000-foot giant. The demonic energy around him also quickly turned into an almost substantial black armor, covering his huge body. At the same time, 3 terrifying attacks with different attributes landed on Kuidi's body almost at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. The void exploded, and the heaven and earth shattered. Even Emperor Kui, whose strength is comparable to the top-level martial emperor, cannot withstand such terrifying power. I saw that the extremely hard black armor on his body exploded inch by inch. The 1,000-foot-high demonic body also became riddled with holes in an instant. Finally, it could no longer hold up and collapsed, leaving only the illusory primordial spirit, which fled out of the collapsed demonic body in panic. Looking at the 4 Taoist figures appearing one after another in the void, unprecedented panic appeared on the illusory face of Kuidi primordial spirit. At this moment, Emperor Kui had already paid his respects to the 18 generations of the Heavenly Demon clan's ancestors. He was deceived by the Heavenly Demon tribe. Shen Tuma Beidou realm is not very strong, there are only 2 or 3 powerful Emperor realm warriors. Are these martial emperors popping out of rocks? 4 martial emperors suddenly appeared, and each one has the strength of a top-level martial emperor. If it were a one-on-one duel, I am afraid that no one of the demon race martial emperors could be guaranteed to beat these human race martial emperors in front of them. Obviously, this Beidou Tianyu is far from being as simple as it appears. If demon race rashly attacks the Beidou heavenly territory, he will most likely repeat the same mistakes he made back then. The sudden change in the void also made everyone in demon race unable to recover for a while. It never occurred to them. 4 top-level martial emperors will suddenly appear in Beidou Tianyu, and they will bombard Kuidi in turn, beating Kuidi until only the primordial spirit is left to survive. Is this really martial Dao's weak Beidou Tianyu? Why is it completely different from the Beidou Tianyu they know? How could this happen? It's over. The other side. The 2 dark demon race demon emperors who were originally planning to attack the Azure Thunder Emperor also had frightened and deathly expressions on their faces. This Beidou heavenly realm is completely different from what the heavenly demon clan demon envoy said. Top-level martial emperor. He's a top-level martial emperor. If they had known this, they would never have volunteered to join the vanguard to attack Beidou Tianyu. I thought that becoming the vanguard to attack Beidou Tianyu would be a great success. But I didn't expect it. The strength of Beidou Tianyu is far beyond their imagination. This horse riding is no different from being sent to the door to seek death. Another 4 top-level martial emperors. Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei stared blankly at the situation in front of them, and it was difficult to recover from the shock for a long time. They know the situation in Beidou Tianyu better than anyone else. There is absolutely no hidden martial emperor. Even if there is a hidden martial emperor, it is impossible for 4 or 5 to pop out at once. That is to say, these top-level martial emperors are most likely related to the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. Yi Lingtian, the Holy Lord of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty, is the chosen successor of the mythical figure Qinglian Sword Immortal in the Beidou Heavenly Domain. He has a top-level martial emperor like Wei Xian beside him to protect him, and he is still within the acceptable range of Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei. Now, 4 top-level martial emperors have emerged from the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. What exactly is going on? Could it be that the legendary Qinglian Sword Immortal left behind a huge unknown force in the Beidou domain? The 2 suppressed the shock in their hearts, and the tense heartstrings finally relaxed at this moment. The strength of Qingyan Holy Dynasty is so unfathomable, it is undoubtedly a great joy for Beidou Tianyu. Dark demon race is coming in force. The strength of the 2 of them is simply not enough to compete with the dark demon race. Now that the Qingyan Holy Dynasty exists, Beidou Tianyu has hope of resisting the dark demon race. Just when everyone was shocked beyond measure, Wei Xian's faint voice resounded throughout the world again. The Lord has decreed that all foreigners shall be killed without mercy. Kill them all. Obey the Lord's command. The 4 top-level martial emperors responded and almost simultaneously attacked the dark demon race. Whether it is Kui Emperor who only has the primordial spirit left, or the other 2 dark demon race martial emperors, it is simply difficult to compete with the top-level martial emperor. They struggled slightly for a moment and then completely lost their ability to resist. Just for a moment. Dark Demon Race 3. The Great Demon Emperor and the 1,000-man team they led, almost no one survived, and they were all killed in the sky above the endless sea. Senior Wei, Demon Race has broken the seal. I am afraid that the entire clan will invade the Beidou heavenly territory soon. What are the plans of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty? Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei both came to Wei Xian's side, their expressions still extremely solemn. Although Wei Xian and others used thunderous means to suppress the vanguard of the dark demon race, the crisis in the Beidou domain was far from resolved. The dark demon race is extremely powerful, and there are even demon fairies that surpass the martial emperor level. The strength of Beidou Tianyu back then was more than twice as strong as it is now, and it had more than 10 top-level martial emperors, but it still could not stop the invasion of the dark demon race. Fortunately, one of Qinglian Sword Immortal Yi Qinglian's sword attendants was still alive in the Beidou heavenly territory at that time. Crucial moment. This swordsman relied on the methods of Qinglian Sword Immortal to kill the dark demon race, and then stabilize the situation for Beidou Tianyu. Later, Zhang Bai of the Zhang clan rose up powerfully, suppressing an arrow with an invincible attitude, and completely expelled the dark demon race from the Beidou heavenly territory. Demon race escaped to a small world in the far north and was completely sealed in that small world. Now dark demon race is back with a vengeance. If the dark demon race had not surpassed the martial emperor level of demon fairies, they might still be able to compete. Otherwise, Beidou Tianyu is in danger. What else can we plan to do? Go straight into the small world where the dark demon race is and completely eliminate the evil that is the dark demon race. At this moment, a faint voice suddenly sounded. Next moment, I saw Yi Lingtian's figure slowly stepping out of the void. Martial Emperor's aura. Feeling the aura emanating from Yi Lingtian, Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei couldn't help but take a breath. The two of them went to congratulate the Qingyan Holy Dynasty in person. At that time, Yi Lingtian was still in the martial saint realm. Unexpectedly, in just over a month, Yi Lingtian easily broke through the emperor realm. Do you want to be so exaggerated? During this time, the three peerless monsters of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty, with lightning speed, penetrated the holy list of the Beidou heavenly territory, shocking the entire Beidou heavenly territory. And Yi Lingtian's talent. Compared to the three great monsters of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty, I'm afraid they are even worse. Why do you feel like all the evil geniuses in the Beidou realm are concentrated in the Qingyan Holy Dynasty? Little friend Yi, the strength of dark demon race cannot be underestimated. Isn't it too hasty to just break into the small world where dark demon race lives? Emperor Qinglei hesitated slightly. Don't worry, you two, I have my own sense of discretion. Yi Lingtian smiled lightly. He now has two peerless character cards in his hand. The peerless character card has power comparable to the immortal emperor, which is also the ceiling of combat power in the fairyland. Dark demon race. Even if there are demon fairies that surpass the level of the martial emperor, they will never have an existence comparable to the immortal emperor. Otherwise, the dark demon race will no longer be sealed by the human race of the Beidou sky domain. Everyone, follow me into the dark demon race sealed place. After Yi Lingtian's faint words fell, he stepped out directly and came to the entrance of the dark demon race sealing place. Wei Xian and other 5 top-level martial emperors followed closely behind. Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei saw this and couldn't help but follow them quickly. Yi Lingtian is determined to break into the dark sealed place, and they have no choice but to help him with all their strength. After all, without Yi Lingtian and Qingyan Holy Dynasty, Beidou Tianyu would not be qualified to compete with Dark Demon Race. Dark Demon Race sealed place. On a desolate plain, thousands of densely packed black shadows were ready to go. In front of them, there was a mysterious light door flashing with violent spatial fluctuations. This light gate is the entrance to the Beidou heavenly domain. Lord Demon Lord, the tens of thousands of elite members of the Dark Demon Race have been assembled. Please ask Lord Demon Lord to be the deacon. A black-armored demon general whose aura was no weaker than that of the top-level martial emperor reported respectfully to the man in black at the head. The man in black is tall and tall, with eyes as bright as a torch, and his whole body exudes a powerful aura that looks down on the world, like a demon god coming to the world. This person is the leader of the Dark Demon Race, the Dark Lord. Well, Emperor Kui has led the leading troops into the Beidou heavenly territory, and I, the Demon Lord, will personally lead the army to respond. The Dark Lord glanced at the black-armored demon general and said calmly, "You are responsible for organizing the remaining old, weak, women and children to move the whole family to the Beidou heavenly territory." Dark Lord, there is a top-level martial emperor in the Beidou heavenly territory with unfathomable strength. He should not be underestimated. I'm worried that Kui Di and others may not be able to deal with it easily. To prevent any unexpected events, you'd better speed up and send Demon Race's main force to support. At this moment, a slightly illusory figure beside the Dark Lord suddenly spoke. The person who spoke was the heavenly demon who was killed by Wei Xian. That day in the Endless Sea, with the help of a token given to him by an adult of the heavenly demon clan, he was able to preserve a trace of his remaining soul, and then controlled the token to escape into the small world where the Dark Demon Race was located. Thinking of the terrifying strength of the human race martial emperor, he couldn't help but urge him. Don't worry, this demon lord has his own sense of proportion. The Dark Lord said calmly. Kuati is the demon emperor who ranks among the top in the dark demon race. Even if there is a top-level martial emperor in Beidou Tianyu, he may not be able to do anything to Emperor Kui. Demon Lord, something big, something bad is going to happen. Just when the Dark Lord didn't take it seriously and was about to give the order to enter the Beidou heavenly territory, a panicked voice suddenly rang in the Dark Lord's ears. Why are you so alarmed? The Dark Lord frowned and couldn't help but look back towards the place where the sound came from. The speaker was a junior demon emperor and a direct descendant of Emperor Kui. Seeing the panic-stricken expression of this descendant of Emperor Kui, the Dark Lord suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. Could it be that something happened to Emperor Kui? Demon Lord, Patriarch Kuati, he has fallen. The junior demon emperor's face was pale, with a look of horror on his face. Emperor Kui actually fell. The Dark Lord's pupils shrank, and a look of disbelief suddenly appeared in his eyes. The vanguard led by Emperor Kui included 3 demon emperors. They entered the Beidou heavenly territory, and it took them less than a stick of incense to do everything possible. Now comes the news of Emperor Kui's death. How is this possible? The Dark Lord looked shocked and angry. He couldn't help but glance suddenly at the heavenly demon tribe aside, and his tone was extremely forbidding. Heavenly demon, should you give me a reasonable explanation? Dark Lord, I have already reminded you that the top-level martial emperor of human race in Beidou Tianyu should not be underestimated. The heavenly demon tribe snorted coldly. Although he was a little dissatisfied with the Dark Lord's attitude, the heavenly demon tribe was also shocked. Lien Kuati, a top-level dark demon emperor, died in less than a stick of incense when he went to the Beidou heavenly territory. The top-level martial emperor of the human race, his combat power is truly terrifying. This is impossible, your information must be wrong. If there is only one top-level martial emperor in Beidou Tianyu, it is impossible to kill Emperor Kui easily. The Dark Lord said with a gloomy expression. Yeah. The heavenly demon clan demon envoy said calmly. Didn't many of the top-level martial emperors in the demon race who you secretly murdered were massacred by Zhang Bai? Zhang Bai. Hearing the heavenly demon tribe mention this name, the Dark Lord's pupils suddenly shrank, and the whole person fell silent for an instant. Dark demon race invaded Beidou Tianyu and encountered 2 nightmares. Qinglian's sword immortal Yi Qinglian destroyed several demon immortals in the dark demon race with only some methods left to his sword attendants. Then the White Emperor Zhang Bai was born. Although this person had not yet broken through to the immortal realm, he suppressed everything with his cultivation as a top-level martial emperor. They secretly demonstrated that the demon emperor, who was in the same realm, was like an ant in front of Zhang Bai. Not long ago, Zhang Bai relied on a ray of clone to break into the small world they were in now, and killed a top-level martial emperor of dark demon race under his eyes. Such an amazing person. Even though the Dark Lord has entered the realm of the demon immortal, he still has instinctive fear in his heart. Could it be, in today's Beidou Tianyu, another human race martial emperor has been born who can rival Zhang Bai, right? Demon Lord, the 2 demon emperors who went to the Beidou heavenly territory with Emperor Kui have also died. The vanguard force led by Emperor Kui has most likely been wiped out. At this moment, another voice woke up the Dark Lord. The Dark Lord's eyes were gloomy, and he couldn't help but let out a sharp shout. Shadow. The words have not yet fallen. A ghostly black shadow appeared directly in front of the Dark Lord without any warning. The Dark Lord looked at the black shadow and said calmly, quickly go to the Beidou heavenly territory to investigate. I want to know the details of the Beidou heavenly territory. It takes less than a stick of incense. The vanguard force led by Emperor Kui was completely wiped out. It can be seen from this. The strength of Beidou Tianyu is far from being as simple as what the heavenly demon tribe said. The Shadow Demon Emperor is the demon emperor who is best at hiding in the dark demon race. He decided to let the Shadow Demon Emperor go to the Beidou heavenly territory to investigate first, and then make a plan. Dark Lord, now that the seal of the small world has been broken, it is meaningless for you to send the Shadow Lord to find out the news at this time. Even if you don't lead the dark demon race out, the Beidou Sky Domain human race can still enter the small world. Instead of waiting passively, it is better to take the initiative. The heavenly demon tribe's demons clearly didn't agree with the Dark Lord's decision. Only by knowing yourself and the enemy can you be victorious in every battle. If the information you provided was not accurate, Emperor Kui and the others would not have fallen into the Beidou heavenly territory so easily. The Dark Demon Lord glanced at the Heavenly Demon Clan Demon Envoy and said confidently, I really don't believe that the human race of the Beidou heavenly domain has the guts to break into the small world. Demon race has been passed down in this small world for countless years and has a very deep foundation. The Dark Lord even hopes that the Beidou Tianyu human race will take the initiative to enter this small world. In this place, he has an absolute home field advantage. Even if there is a true immortal that surpasses the martial emperor level in Beidou Tianyu, if he dares to come to this small world, the Dark Lord is confident that he will be killed here. Buzz buzz. At the moment when the Dark Lord finished speaking, at the entrance to the Dark Demon race's sealed land, violent spatial fluctuations suddenly rippled out. Immediately, the 8 Taoist shadows slowly emerged directly in the sight of the Dark Lord and others. The Dark Lord's expression suddenly froze. He had just vowed that Beidou Tianyu human race did not have the courage to enter the small world, but in the end Beidou Tianyu human race entered. This is simply a slap in the face. The Dark Lord stared fixedly at the 8 figures in front of him. The leader is a young man in golden robe who looks extremely young, and his cultivation level has reached the level of Emperor Realm. Behind the golden-robed young man are 7 human race martial emperors. 2 of them are at the middle-level martial emperor, and the remaining 5 are all top-level martial emperor. This moment, Dark Demon race finally understood why the vanguard force led by Kuidi was completely wiped out. Faced with 8 such human race martial emperors, Kuidi and his team are almost like a sheep entering a tiger's mouth. 8 martial emperors. The heavenly demon tribe looked at the scene in front of them and couldn't believe their eyes. He stayed in Beidou Tianyu for a while. It can be said that he knows the situation of Beidou Tianyu very well. Including the Tianming emperor who made a deal with him, there were only 3 martial emperors in thousands of years. Including the mysterious martial emperor who appeared at the end, there are only 4 of them. Now there are 4 more martial emperors appearing out of thin air. Moreover, these 4 martial emperors are all top-level martial emperors. How is this possible? What a Beidou Tianyu human race, you are quite courageous. The Dark Lord stared coldly at the 8 Taoist figures in front of him, and slowly said, I didn't expect that you would dare to come to the small world. This really surprises me. Those who offend my Beidou heavenly territory will be punished no matter how far away they are. Looking at the leader of the Dark Demon race, Yilingtian said calmly, back then, the Beidou heavenly domain human race failed to completely eliminate you. Today, I, Yilingtian, will end it. Ha ha ha. Boy, you're not afraid of flashing your tongue when you talk big. Back then, Zhang Bai didn't even dare to talk about destroying my Dark Demon race, so who do you think you are? The Dark Lord laughed disdainfully, and the monstrous aura that towered over the Demon Emperor instantly spread from his body. He is the Demon Immortal who has surpassed the Demon Emperor realm. As long as the Beidou realm does not have a strong person from the fairyland above the Martial Emperor, no matter how many Martial Emperors come to the realm, it will just be a gift to him. My lord, be careful, this Dark Demon race master is very strong. Feeling the aura emanating from the Dark Lord, even the expressions of Wei Xian and others suddenly changed. The aura of this Dark Lord is more than 1 level more powerful than the top-level Martial Emperor. He is obviously an existence that surpasses the Martial Emperor realm. If they were not careful today, they would probably be wiped out. You can just deal with the others. Leave this Dark Demon race master to me. Yilingtian looked calm. Without any hesitation, he directly exchanged 24 Universal Peerless level fragment cards and decisively synthesized the first Peerless level character card. Peerless Yi Qinglian, synthesized. Follow the order. Wei Xian and the 5 others responded respectfully. Wei Xian and others naturally obeyed Yilingtian's orders absolutely. Since this time, they witnessed Yilingtian's miracles time and time again. Although they didn't know what Yilingtian had to do to deal with the demon fairy who transcended the Emperor realm, but since Yilingtian dared to face the Dark Lord alone, he must have a trump card to deal with the Dark Lord. Xiao Yuyi, you want to deal with the Lord of the Dark Demon race alone. Empress Kang Yu and Emperor Qing Lei looked up at Yilingtian, even a little doubting whether there was something wrong with their ears. Dark Demon race. Apart from the master of Dark Demon race, there are only 7 demon emperors left. There are only 3 people who have reached the top level of Demon Emperor. The 2 of them, plus Wei Xian and 5 other top-level martial emperors, didn't have much pressure to deal with it. But this lord of the dark demon race is not so easy to deal with. This is a powerful existence that has surpassed the martial emperor level and can be compared to the strong men in the fairyland. Wu Emperor Realm and Wonderland. This is the difference between immortals and mortals. No matter how powerful the martial emperor is, he can only be respected in the mortal world and is the emperor among mortal martial arts. The strong man in the fairyland has transcended the secular world and entered a new level of life. There is no comparison between the two. Don't say that Yilingtian is only a junior martial emperor. Even the peerless top-level transcendent martial emperor like Zhang Bai may not be able to compete with the powerful in the fairyland with the martial emperor realm. Yilingtian glanced at the 2 of them and said with a smile, "Don't forget, I have the inheritance of the Qinglian sword immortal." Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei were stunned for a moment, and then felt slightly happy in their hearts. They had forgotten about it. Yilingtian is the descendant of Qinglian sword immortal Yi Qinglian. When the dark demon race invaded the Beidou heavenly territory, a sword attendant of the Qinglian sword immortal used the methods of the Green Lotus sword immortal to kill several of the dark demon race's demon immortals and stabilize the situation for the Beidou heavenly territory. As the descendant of Qinglian sword immortal, Yilingtian must also have the trump card left by Qinglian sword immortal. Yilingtian didn't talk nonsense. His figure flashed and appeared above the vast void, and his faint voice instantly resounded throughout the world. "Dark Lord, do you dare to come up and fight me?" The Dark Lord narrowed his eyes slightly. This young man in golden robe has already broken through the martial emperor realm at a young age. There are many human race martial emperors in the Beidou realm, and they all seem to respect the young man in golden robe. It can be seen from this. This young man in gold robe is probably very extraordinary. The purpose of this son's challenge to him was simply to hold him back with his own strength. Once he was dragged. With dark demon race's current strength, he may not be able to withstand the 7 human race martial emperors from the Beidou heavenly domain. But he is the dark demon race, a demon fairy who transcends the martial emperor level. Even if a junior martial emperor has some trump cards, he can't even think of causing any waves in front of him. You dare to challenge this demon lord with the cultivation level of a junior martial emperor. It's really courageous. Then let me, the demon lord, see what you are capable of. Before the Dark Lord finished speaking, his figure rose into the sky and appeared directly in front of Yilingtian. Below, Wei Xian and others did not hesitate at all, and each found a dark demon emperor to kill him. That moment, the auras of more than a dozen powerful emperor realm warriors erupted almost simultaneously in this area of the world, causing the space to shatter and the earth to tremble, as if the end of the world was coming. See the battle between the human race and the dark demon race in the Beidou sky territory. The heavenly demon tribe's demon envoy, however, moved away from the battlefield without leaving a trace and moved toward the exit of the small world. This sudden display of strength by the Beidou Tianyu human race is not normal at all. Especially the young man in gold robe, who dared to invite the Dark Lord to fight and directly challenge the Dark Lord in a duel. Normal circumstances. A one-on-one battle between a junior martial emperor and the Dark Lord was almost the same as sending him to death. It must be very difficult for a young man in golden robe to be able to command many human race martial emperors in the Beidou realm with the cultivation level of a junior martial emperor. Although the Dark Lord is already a demon fairy who has surpassed the level of the demon emperor, the heavenly demon clan has a bad feeling. It's dark today and demon race may be over. It's better to withdraw first. Taking advantage of the confrontation between the Dark Demon Lord and the young man in gold robes, the powerful men of the Emperor realm from both sides fought, and the heavenly demon tribe chose to run away without hesitation. The Dark Lord glanced at the situation below and did not want to waste time with Yilingtian. Although Dark Demon race also has 7 demon emperors, there are only 3 top-level demon emperors. But in Beidou Tianyu human race, there are 5 top-level martial emperors. These 5 top-level martial emperors are all very powerful in battle. Even the 3 top demon emperors from Dark Demon race were almost suppressed by each other in one-on-one situations. Can't delay it any longer. Human race boy, die for this demon lord. The demonic light in the Dark Lord's eyes soared, and he stretched out a finger and pressed it down on Yilingtian. Next moment, a huge black finger instantly penetrated thousands of feet into the void and crashed down towards Yilingtian like a giant pillar across the sky. Rumble. The space of 100 miles around Yilingtian's head was instantly crushed into nothingness. Yilingtian looked calmly and directly used the newly synthesized character card, the Peerless Yi Qinglian. The character card adds power. Yilingtian instantly felt that his power had reached an incredible level. Even just a thought can easily destroy the small world where demon race lives. This is the power of peerless character cards, comparable to the Immortal Emperor. Xuanwang Great World. The next realm above the Martial Emperor is the Fairyland. Because Beidou Tianyu does not know the specific realm division after Martial Emperor, Fairyland is a general name above Martial Emperor. In the main world of Xuanwang, Fairyland is divided into 7 realms. True Immortal, Profound Immortal, Celestial Immortal, Golden Immortal, Deluo Immortal, Tai Immortal, Primordial Origin Immortal. Among them, Deluo Immortal is also called Deluo Immortal Venerable, Tai Immortal can be called Tai Immortal King, and Primordial Origin Immortal is revered as Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor. It is said that above the Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor, there is the legendary Saint Realm. This is an existence that has not appeared in the Xuanwang Great World for a long, long time. In an era when saints did not appear, the Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor was the true ceiling of combat power in the Xuanwang Great World. Using a peerless character card, even if it is placed in the main world of Xuanwang, Yilingtian can kill indiscriminately within 5 minutes. Although the Dark Lord in front of him is a demon immortal who has surpassed the Demon Emperor, he is only on par with the true immortal realm. In front of the Immortal Emperor, he was like an ant. Looking at the giant finger that was crushing the sky, Yilingtian just thought, and the giant finger instantly shattered. The next second, Yilingtian raised his head and looked towards the Dark Lord. A green lotus flower condensed above the Dark Lord's head without any warning. The Dark Lord's expression changed drastically. Before he could react, a terrifying sword energy penetrated from the Baihui point on the top of his head, causing the Dark Lord's body to freeze instantly. The sword energy enters the body. The Dark Lord only felt that his entire body was completely imprisoned, and he could no longer move at all. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. The Dark Lord looked dull, and his mind was surrounded by a series of question marks. He is the demon immortal who has surpassed the Demon Emperor. Before he could react, he was subdued by a move from the human race youth opposite. How is this horse riding possible? The human race young man opposite was obviously just a junior martial emperor, so why did he suddenly burst out with such terrifying power? It took the Dark Lord a while to recover from his daze. He stared intently at the blue lotus floating above his head. After a while, the Dark Lord finally thought of something, and his expression instantly became horrified. Qinglian, are you the descendant of the Qinglian Sword Immortal? Qinglian Sword Immortal Yi Qinglian is a legendary figure in Beidou Tianyu. When the Dark Demon race came to the Beidou Heavenly Territory, the Qinglian Sword Immortal Yi Qinglian had already left through the sky, and only one swordsman remained in the Beidou Heavenly Territory. However, the sword servant of Qinglian Sword Immortal Yi Qinglian just used some methods left to him by Yi Qinglian and destroyed the Dark Demon race Digital Demon Immortal. The Dark Lord never expected it. The human race young man in front of me is actually related to the legendary Qinglian Sword Immortal. He also controls the power of the Qinglian Sword Immortal Yi Qinglian. Even if he breaks through the demonic fairy realm, he still has no power to resist under such power. It's over. The Dark Lord instantly turned pale. Dark Demon race, I completely failed today. Yilingtian didn't say anything, he just raised his hand and touched the blue lotus flower lightly. The Dark Lord's body was quickly annihilated at a speed visible to the naked eye. No, the Dark Lord looked desperate and frightened. Under the power of this green lotus, he didn't even have a chance to use his Dark Demon race background. He could only watch his body being annihilated by the power of the green lotus. Just a few breaths of time. The Dark Lord's physical body and primordial spirit completely dissipated between heaven and earth. And at the moment when the Dark Lord's aura completely disappeared, the many Dark Demon race powerhouses below also felt it for the first time. Looking at Yilingtian standing proudly in the void, all the people who were hiding in Demon race had extremely horrified expressions. They secretly said that the Lord of Demon race was just gone. This is a first-level demon immortal who has surpassed the Demon Emperor realm, and is comparable to the existence of a powerful person in the Xuanwang Great World True Immortal realm. How could this young man from the human race of Beidou Tianyu have the strength to instantly kill a first-order demon fairy? Many strong people in Dark Demon race have completely lost their mentality at this moment. Who can tell them what happened? Dark Lord, just die like this. Wei Xian and others stared blankly at the scene in front of them, unable to recover for a while. Wei Xian and others are doing better. After all, when they were in the northern wilderness territory, they had seen Yi Lingtian summon his ancestors more than once, easily killing his opponents who were far more powerful than themselves. The situation in front of me is most likely because the Lord has called the ancestors again. Only, their master's ancestors are a bit too much. It's okay if the quantity is large. And each one is more perverted and outrageous than the last. Every time it appears, it is the presence of air every second of the day. For example, when this ancestor appeared today, he easily killed even the demon immortal above the demon emperor. Wei Xian and the others even had some doubts. Has their lord become the darling of the Yi clan? The strong men with the Yi surname all over the world can be summoned at will as their ancestors. The Qinglian sword immortal is worthy of being a legend in the Beidou heavenly domain. Empress Kangyu and Emperor Qinglei looked shocked, and their awe for Qinglian sword immortal Yi Qinglian instantly grew even stronger. Originally, after seeing the Dark Lord showing off the aura of the demonic fairy realm, the two of them felt that today would be a bad day. Even if Yi Lingtian relies on his descendants from the Green Lotus Sword Immortal to fight against the Dark Demon Lord alone, they only think that Yi Lingtian is trying to hold back the Dark Demon Lord and create opportunities for them to defeat the Dark Demon race. But I didn't expect it. The battle between the two sides had just begun, and Yi Lingtian defeated the Dark Lord in seconds. Back then, the Dark Demon race invaded the Beidou Sky territory. A swordsman beside Yi Qinglian bravely slaughtered all the demon fairies in the Dark Demon race. Now the Dark Demon race is back with a vengeance, and Yi Qinglian's descendant appears, easily killing the Dark Demon Lord in the Demon Fairyland instantly. This is the well-deserved number one person in Beidou Tianyu. Qinglian Sword Immortal, Yi Qinglian. Dark Demon Race Shadow, please invite the ancestors of all generations. At this moment, the Shadow Demon Emperor, one of the 3 top-level demon emperors of the Dark Demon race, was the first to recover from the panic. Without any hesitation, he directly activated the seal and shouted loudly. As the voice of the Shadow Demon Emperor resounded, Dark Demon race in the ancestral twilight of this small world, dozens of demonic energy fluctuations suddenly rippled. Next moment, dozens of demonic lights soared into the sky, came to the void where the Shadow Demon Emperor was, and turned into 50 illusory black shadows. Each of these 50 black shadows at least exudes the aura of the Demon Emperor. The ancestral tomb of Dark Demon race is a treasure of Dark Demon race. Dark Demon race. Every strong person who reaches the Demon Emperor realm can preserve the Demon Emperor's will in the ancestral tomb before the end. These 50 illusory black shadows are condensed from the will of the ancestors of the Dark Demon race. 50 shades of darkness demon race, the will of the ancestors. Among them are 48 wills of the Demon Emperor and 2 wills of the Demon Immortal that surpass the Demon Emperor. The will of these Dark Demon race ancestors is Dark Demon race's biggest trump card. Now that the Dark Demon Lord has fallen and the Dark Demon race is in a life and death crisis, the Shadow Demon Emperor has no choice but to summon the will of these ancestors. This day has indeed come. It seems that my secret demon race followed the Heavenly Demon clan to invade the Xuanwang Great World, which was a mistake. Looking at the situation in front of him, the leader of the Demon Fairy couldn't help but let out a slight sigh. The younger generation is incompetent and has disturbed all the ancestors. The Shadow Demon Emperor bowed respectfully to the will of many Demon Emperors. The leader of the Demon Immortal will ignore the Shadow Demon Emperor. He looked up at Yi Lingtian, who was standing proudly in the void. The aura of this human race young man was so mysterious that even he couldn't see through it at all. Don't say that he is just a demon's will now. Even if he is reborn, he may not be able to stop this human race young man. Everyone, let me do my last part for the Dark Demon race. The faint voice fell, and 50 Dark Demon race ancestors' wills rose into the sky and rushed towards Yi Lingtian in the void. Although the will of these dark demon race ancestors is far less powerful than the original one, the combined will of the 50 dark demon race ancestors still reaches a very terrifying level. Even compared to the previous Dark Lord, the momentum is even 3 points higher. Even Wei Xian and others couldn't help but have a look of worry on their faces. Can the Lord still withstand such terrifying power? Facing dozens of dark demon race ancestral wills rising into the sky, Yilingtian's expression remained unchanged. He stretched out his palm and pointed lightly. The next second, time stands still and space freezes. Dozens of dark demon race ancestral wills were fixed in the void by Yilingtian's designation. Immediately afterwards, these dark demon race ancestral wills began to become illusory at a speed visible to the naked eye. Just a few breaths, all the wills of the dark demon race ancestors, including the wills of the 2 demon immortals, were directly transformed into nothingness. That moment, there was deathly silence in the sky and on the earth. No one can think of it. Yilingtian's current state was so terrifying. First, he killed the Dark Lord of Mo Shanjing instantly with one move. Now facing the dark demon race's 50 ancestral wills, he crushes them all with just an understatement. It's over. Everyone on demon race's side looked ashen and desperate. The ancestral will of the 50 paths of darkness demon race is already their last trump card in the dark demon race. Now that they were defeated by Yilingtian, what else can they use to resist the Beidou Tianyu human race? This moment, even the 7 demon emperors of the dark demon race were already frightened out of their wits. They looked at each other and rushed towards the entrance of the small world like crazy, wanting to escape from this small world. Today's battle shows that demon race is over. They can only escape for their own lives, one at a time. Seeing the dark demon emperors fleeing hastily, Wei Xian and others were about to take action when Yilingtian raised his hand again, and the 7 dark demon emperors evaporated out of thin air without any warning. Wei Xian, the rest is up to you. After solving the 7 dark demon emperors, Yilingtian gave Wei Xian a faint order and disappeared into the small world in a flash. After leaving the small world, Yilingtian's extremely powerful spiritual consciousness was also spreading rapidly. Very quickly, his consciousness crossed the endless space and descended directly to the northern wilderness territory. In the ancestral land of the Great Wilderness Dynasty in the northern wasteland, there is also an entrance to a different world. While the power of this peerless character card has not dissipated, Yilingtian plans to eliminate this potential danger in the northern wasteland. Yilingtian, who possesses the power of a mortal emperor, is extremely powerful at this moment. Even across the endless space, the entire northern wilderness territory can be seen at a glance. This northern wilderness realm is indeed not as simple as an ordinary mortal realm. Feeling the situation in the entire northern wasteland, Yilingtian was slightly surprised. With the blessing of the peerless character card, Yilingtian's eyesight at this moment was so extraordinary, he could clearly see the northern wasteland with just one glance. The aura of the northern wasteland seems to be completely different from the aura of other mortal realms in the Xuanwang Great World. Although the laws of heaven here are not perfect, they are far higher than other mortal realms, and even vaguely a level higher than the Beidou heavenly realm. The location of the northern wasteland is also extremely special. In this place, a region like the northern wasteland shouldn't have appeared here. The reason why this place exists in the northern wasteland seems to have been moved here from somewhere with great divine ability. Yilingtian suddenly had some guesses in his mind. If his prediction is correct, the northern wilderness territory will most likely be part of the Xuanwang Lord World. He peeled off part of the Xuanwang Lord World, moved it across endless spaces, and hid it in thousands of mortal realms. Such shocking means, even in the fairyland, there are probably only a handful of people who can do it. Shaked his head, Yilingtian threw away his thoughts and his consciousness was directly locked on the ancestral land of the Great Wilderness Dynasty. When he felt the sealing power of the entrance to the different world, his expression became extremely solemn again. Last time, when Yilingtian went to check the entrance to this different world, he still used an outstanding character card, with only the knowledge and cultivation of the Emperor realm. Although he could see the extraordinary nature of this seal at that time, he could not completely see through it. He could only sense that the formation that sealed the other world was very powerful. It was a peerless immortal formation that intercepted the power of heaven and earth in the northern wasteland. At this moment, Yilingtian just discovered with horror. Above this peerless immortal formation, there is actually a terrifying aura that is almost the same as what he has now. Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor's Breath. The seal at the entrance to a different world in the northern wasteland was actually placed by a primordial origin immortal emperor. It seems that the demon race in this different world in the northern wilderness territory is probably far more powerful than the dark demon race in the Beidou heavenly territory. Yi Lingtian's eyes flickered slightly. He originally wanted to use the power of this peerless character card to deal with the alien races in this foreign world in the northern wasteland. Now that he sensed the situation of this seal, Yi Lingtian gave up temporarily. An extremely powerful primordial origin immortal emperor also wants to intercept the power of heaven and earth in the Xuanwang Lord world. He has just laid out a peerless immortal formation to seal the alien race here. This shows how powerful the alien race is. Even if he now has the power of the primordial origin immortal emperor, it is probably unknown whether he can completely eliminate the aliens here. He suppressed the seal gap with 9 flame immortal fire. Within a short period of time, the aliens in the seal should not be able to break through the seal, and Yi Lingtian does not intend to act rashly at this time. Take back your consciousness. Yi Lingtian thought of the disappearance of his father Yi Qingyan, and powerful spiritual consciousness spread across the Beidou heavenly territory. However, Yi Lingtian's powerful spiritual consciousness swept through every corner of the Beidou heavenly territory, and until the power of the peerless character card dissipated, he still did not feel the aura of his father Yi Qingyan. Ding! The master uses the excellent Yi Chen character card to finish, and a large amount of the character card's cultivation level will be returned. Ding! Congratulations to the owner for getting a chance to draw a random item related to this character. The prompt sounded as Loli Tonko's prompt sounded. Yi Lingtian's cultivation once again started a long-lost surge mode. Intermediate Martial Emperor. High-level Martial Emperor. Top-level Martial Emperor. Ding! It is detected that the master's cultivation method is the Emperor grade method and cannot break through the true immortal realm. The system automatically replaces the master's immortal grade method. After reaching the top level of cultivation, Martial Emperor, the system once again automatically replaced Yi Lingtian with a new immortal grade technique. Then Yi Lingtian's cultivation level began to continue to improve crazily. True Immortal Early Stage. True Immortal Midterm. True Immortal Late Stage. It wasn't until Yi Lingtian's cultivation reached the True Immortal peak that this skyrocketing pattern slowly stopped. The Peerless character card is indeed not comparable to the Outstanding character card. Yi Lingtian was amazed in his heart. A Peerless character card, the returned cultivation level not only allowed him to break through from the elementary Martial Emperor to the True Immortal realm, but also reach the peak of the True Immortal realm in one fell swoop. With his current strength, even without the help of character cards, he can easily kill the Dark Lord and other powerful people from the demonic fairy realm. Sister Tongzi, let's start the lottery. After Yi Lingtian accepted the returned cultivation level, he started the lottery directly. The virtual turntable spins rapidly. Ding! Congratulations to the master for obtaining the Peerless Magic Chaos Green Lotus. Chaos Qinglian. Qinglian Sword Immortal Yi Qinglian learned the Peerless Magic after breaking through the Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor, which can ignore all forbidden laws and destroy all illusions. Sister Tongzi, can we discuss it and increase the probability of signing the Peerless character card? After the lottery was over, Yi Lingtian couldn't help but communicate with Loli Tongzi in his heart. This Peerless character card is good in everything, but the probability of getting it by signing in is really low. These few months, Yi Lingtian also signed in and received fragments of Peerless character cards from 2 big men named Yi. Now that Peerless level Yi Qinglian has been used by him, only Peerless level Yi Mo is left. Master, I'm sorry that I can't do anything about this. Peerless character cards are extremely rare. We can only rely on the master's character. Many of the powerful people named Yi included in the system have not reached the level of Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor, so there will be no Peerless character cards. Especially the mythical character cards, which are even harder to obtain. The system only contains a dozen or so character cards for the boss surnamed Yi that have reached the mythical level. Loli Tongzi explained to Yi Lingtian. Yi Lingtian understood immediately. No wonder the probability of signing a Peerless character card is so low. It turns out that not all characters with the surname Yi have Peerless character cards. After the system is converted to the standard of the Xuanwang Great World, the only ones whose strength is between the Emperor realm and the Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor are excellent level character cards. Only characters who have reached the level of Primordial Origin Immortal Emperor can have peerless character cards. As for what level a mythical character card needs to reach, that is unknown. Shaked his head, Yi Lingtian did not continue to struggle with this issue. Fortunately, after the Immortal Dynasty mode was upgraded to Imperial Dynasty, the system enabled the character card upgrade function. If he really can't get a peerless character fragment card after signing in, he can exchange it and synthesize 100 identical outstanding character cards, and then upgrade it to a peerless character card. The peerless level Yi Fan and Yi Zan are difficult to get by signing in, but the excellent level is relatively easy to sign in. The only difference is that it costs twice as many Immortal Dynasty points. As long as you have enough Immortal Dynasty points, everything won't be a problem. It's strange why there is no trace of my father in the Beidou Heavenly Territory. I'd better go to the Zhang clan and ask my mother. Yi Lingtian unfolded his consciousness again and scanned the entire Beidou Heavenly Territory, his brows knitted tightly together. He flashed and came directly to White Emperor City. With Yi Lingtian's current strength, the defense of White Emperor City is almost useless to him. He went directly to the Zhang clan Imperial Palace to see Zhang Qingfang, and almost no one in the entire Zhang clan was aware of it. Tian'er, didn't you go to the Endless Sea in the north? Why did you suddenly come to White Emperor City? Looking at Yi Lingtian who suddenly appeared, Zhang Qingfang was obviously stunned. Something happened in the Endless Sea area of the Northern Wasteland, and Zhang Qingfang naturally knew about it. She was about to lead the strong men of the Zhang clan to go to support, but she didn't expect Yi Lingtian to appear in front of her at this time. Don't worry, mother, the matter in the north has been resolved. Yi Lingtian said with a smile, then looked at Zhang Qingfang and said, I came here this time mainly to ask about my father and if there is any news about my mother. During this period, I have been sending people to look for your father, but for some reason, your father seemed to have evaporated from the Beidou Sky territory out of thin air, without any news at all. But one thing is for sure, your father and the others are probably still alive. The martial god of the Ginger clan who followed your father, his soul is still intact in the Ginger clan. When Yi Lingtian asked about this matter, Zhang Qingfang's expression became much more serious. Did they leave Beidou Tianyu? Yi Lingtian couldn't help but frown slightly when he heard this. Probably. Zhang Qingfang said softly, I have found the place where your father and the others last appeared in Beidou Tianyu. Now that the matter in the north has been resolved, I plan to go and investigate the situation. I'd better go, where? Yi Lingtian pondered slightly. If there are any clues in that place, with his peak true immortal cultivation, he will definitely be able to discover more useful information. A saint-grade force in the eastern part of Beidou Tianyu, Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. Yi Lingtian's consciousness quickly spread towards the east and soon found a sect with the 4 characters Heavenly Origin carved on the outside of the mountain gate. This Heavenly Origin Saint sect is just a low-ranking saint-grade force in Beidou Tianyu. In the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect, Yi Lingtian only felt the aura of the Martial Saint realm, and he was only at the beginning of the Martial Saint realm. What surprised Yi Lingtian the most was the aura of this junior Martial Saint in the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect gave Yi Lingtian a vague feeling of familiarity. Hey, it's actually him. Yi Lingtian was stunned for a moment, and finally thought of something, and the corners of his mouth could not help but curl up slightly. He said goodbye to Zhang Qingfang, and then appeared in the sky above Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin, come out and show yourself. Yi Lingtian looked into the depths of the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect, and a faint voice echoed directly above the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. Who is acting wildly against my Holy Sect of Heavenly Origin? The 2 martial gods responsible for guarding the gate of Heavenly Origin Holy Sect also instantly rose into the sky and appeared directly in front of Yi Lingtian. Yi Lingtian raised his hand and waved, and the 2 Heavenly Origin Holy Sect martial gods were stared at where they were. He ignored the frightened expressions of the 2 men and looked directly into the depths of the Holy Sect of Heavenly Origin, laughing again. Haha, Holy Lord Heavenly Origin, your old friend from the Northern Wasteland is here to visit, why don't you come out and show up to meet me? As soon as Yi Lingtian said these words, a middle-aged man in purple robe with extraordinary bearing also rose from the depths of Heavenly Origin Holy Sect and slowly appeared in front of Yi Lingtian. The middle-aged man in purple robe stared at Yilingtian for a long time. After a while, he finally thought of something, and the look he looked at Yilingtian became extremely gloomy. Boy, it's you. Back then, he had left a clone and his own inheritance in the northern wasteland. Because of the special technique he practiced, the original deity and his clone were connected with each other, so they naturally knew what was happening in the northern wasteland. At first he was unwilling to hand over the inheritance to this boy's men. This kid actually destroyed his clone without hesitation and forcibly took away his inheritance. Unexpectedly, this kid not only came to the Beidou heavenly territory, but also dared to show off his power to the heavenly origin holy sect he founded. Emperor Yuan, we meet again. It seems that you have done quite well in Beidou Tianyu these years, and you have become the holy master of heavenly origin holy sect. Yilingtian looked at the middle-aged man in purple robe in front of him with a smile. This middle-aged man in purple robe is none other than the first martial sovereign realm powerhouse born in the northern wilderness territory in thousands of years, Emperor Yuan. This guy is indeed the first being in the northern wilderness territory to break through the martial sovereign realm in thousands of years. His talent is indeed extraordinary. Even in this place, Beidou Tianyu, you can actually have a prosperous life. Only 1,000 years after leaving the northern wilderness territory, he broke through the martial saint realm in the Beidou heavenly territory and founded a saint-grade force called the Heavenly Origin Saint Sect. Boy, why do you come to our holy sect of heavenly origin? The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin stared at Yilingtian with an unkind expression, but did not take action easily. He was able to rise all the way from the northern wilderness territory, and then break through to the martial saint realm in the Beidou heavenly territory and establish the Heavenly Origin Saint Sect. Naturally, he was not a fool. It is obviously not easy for the kid in front of me to easily subdue the two martial god realms of Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. And the aura on this kid's body was something that even the martial saint realm like him couldn't see through. The Holy Master of Heavenly Origin still has some fear in his heart. There's something I want to know from you. Yilingtian smiled and said, I'll ask you to answer, is that okay? If you have any questions, does this Holy Master have to answer you? The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin snorted coldly. He is the first martial sovereign in the northern wilderness territory in thousands of years. Now he is a strong man in the martial saint realm and the Holy Master who founded a saint-grade force in the Beidou heavenly territory. The kid in front of me is just a rising star in the northern wilderness territory. Although this kid didn't know what method he used to hide his cultivation, making it completely invisible to him. But at his age, being able to break through to the martial god realm is probably beyond the pale. How can he not be a strong martial saint realm who can stand shoulder to shoulder with him, right? Since your body and mind are connected with the clone in the northern wilderness territory, and you can sense what happened to the clone in the northern wilderness territory, why do you have such a short memory? Yilingtian shook his head. Immediately, he raised his hand and pointed at the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin. Next moment, Heavenly Origin Holy Lord's physical body is quickly annihilated at a speed visible to the naked eye. Just in the blink of an eye, the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin only has an illusory soul left. Quote ? The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin was confused and couldn't recover from the sluggishness for a while. Who I am? Where do I come from? Where am I going? Why the hell am I inexplicably left with only my soul? Last time, your clone was just martial sovereign, so you couldn't tell the difference between a question and a rhetorical question. I didn't expect that you, who is already in the martial saint realm, still can't tell the difference. Yilingtian looked at Holy Lord Heavenly Origin and said with a smile, I'll ask you again. I'll ask you to answer. Is that okay? Hearing Yilingtian's smiling voice, Holy Master Heavenly Origin finally came to his senses. He looked at Yilingtian's smiling face, his whole face was horrified, as if he had fallen into an ice cave, and he felt that his whole body was surrounded by a terrifying chill. Last time, that's what this kid asked his clone. After his clone refused, he was killed by this kid with one move. Faced with the same problem this time, he refused again, and as a result, his body was crushed with one finger. He is a martial saint. Although he is not ranked high among the martial saint realm experts in Beidou Tianyu, he is also a genuine martial saint realm expert. How could this boy's strength be so terrifying? I didn't expect that a peerless genius like little brother would be born in the northern wasteland. It's really gratifying and congratulatory. We are all from the northern wasteland. If you have anything you want to ask, little brother, just ask. I will definitely tell you everything I know. The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin suppressed the fear in his heart, and his attitude suddenly turned 180 degrees, and he patted his chest and said confidently. Although this kid seemed to be asking him, he actually didn't give him a choice at all. Holy Master Heavenly Origin has no doubt at all. If he refused again, this kid would probably destroy the rest of his soul with one finger without hesitation. I have been in Beidou Tianyu for so many years. The Holy Master of Heavenly Origin knows a truth very well: you have to bow your head when you should bow your head. Not to mention that this kid just destroyed his clone and body. Even if he slept with his wife, he could only endure it. In this world, his fists are not as big as others, so resisting stubbornly is no different than seeking death. Not to mention, this guy was able to possess the terrifying power to kill him instantly in such a short period of time. He was so powerful. And it comes from the thighs of the northern wasteland. If you don't hug me now, when will you wait? Not long ago, someone named Yi Qingyan came to Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. Yi Lingtian didn't waste any time and asked directly. Yi Qingyan, the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin, pondered for a moment, and then said, as the Yi Qingyan that the little brother mentioned is also from the northern wilderness region. Yi Lingtian nodded and said, yes, he is my father. A few months ago, your father and a martial god did come to Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. Because I learned that he was from the northern wasteland, I took him into the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect. However, they did not stay in the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect for long before they were taken away. The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin did not hide anything and told everything he knew. Who took them? Yi Lingtian couldn't help but frown slightly. A mysterious old man named Yi Tians. He said that your father is from their Yi family, and then he took your father away. When the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin said this, his expression also looked extremely solemn. This mysterious old man named Yi has unfathomable strength. I am afraid that he is at least a martial emperor. Yi Tians. Yi Lingtian was startled when he heard this name seemed familiar. Immediately, Yi Lingtian seemed to have thought of something and couldn't help but quickly open the system's backpack space. Very quickly, Yi Lingtian found the fragment card of excellent level Yi Tians among a pile of excellent level character cards. Xuanwang Great World. Excellent Yi Tians, 7/30. Could it be? Was it this local strongman from the Xuanwang Great World who took away his father Yi Qingyan? As far as he knows, there should be no strong man named Yi Tians in Beidou Tianyu. That is to say, this Yi Tians is not from Beidou Heavenly Domain, he is most likely from the main world of Xuanwang Great World. After all, the Northern Wilderness Territory is most likely part of the Xuanwang main world. The Yi family in the Northern Wasteland may even be related to a certain Yi family in the Xuanwang Lord world. Only, if his father Yi Qingyan has the blood of a certain Yi family in the Xuanwang Lord world, he also has it. Whether it is strength or fame, he is far better than his father Yi Qingyan. Why did this mysterious strong man named Yi Tian suddenly appear in Beidou Tianyu and take away his father Yi Qingyan instead of coming to find him? Shaked his head, Yi Lingtian didn't bother to think too much. Although he has now reached the true immortal realm and has the ability to break the void and go to the main world of Xuanwang, he does not plan to go to the main world of Xuanwang at this time. Since his father Yi Qingyan is no longer in the Beidou Heavenly Territory, he can only make plans for this matter in the Xuanwang Lord world in the future. Chapter 91. Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin, I am Yi Lingtian of the Qingyan Holy Clan. Are you willing to lead the Holy Sect of Heavenly Origin to surrender to me? Yi Lingtian looked up at Holy Lord Heavenly Origin and said calmly. Although the Heavenly Origin Holy Sect is not as powerful as the Burning Heaven Holy Land, it is still a saint-grade force and can provide him with a lot of immortal dynasty points. And, this Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin seems to be the kind of Lord who knows how to judge the situation, and it should be relatively easy to subdue him. Qingyan Saint Lord Yi Lingtian. When the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin heard this, he couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. He obviously didn't expect that. The young man in front of him who came out of the northern wasteland with him is Yi Lingtian, the Holy Lord of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. Although the Qingyan Holy Dynasty was founded in Beidou Heavenly Territory in just a few months, it has already become a powerful force in Beidou Heavenly Territory. The founding ceremony of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. The two martial emperors from Beidou Tianyu appeared in person to congratulate the three peerless monsters of the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. In less than 2 months, have penetrated the holy list of the Beidou Heavenly Territory and ranked among the top 3 in the holy list of the Beidou Heavenly Territory. It is said that even the destruction of the Tianming Emperor's palace, one of the 3 great emperor-level forces in the Beidou Tianyu, is related to the Qingyan Holy Dynasty. It can be said, Qingyan Holy Dynasty's current status in Beidou Tianyu is not inferior to that of emperor-grade forces. Thank you Holy Lord Qingyan for your love. Heavenly Origin Holy Sect is willing to surrender. The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin chose to surrender without hesitation. Now that his body was destroyed by Yilingtian with one finger, his vitality was severely damaged and it would take a lot of time to return to his peak state. And he is not without enemies in the Beidou Heavenly Territory. Once the enemy comes to the door at this time, Heavenly Origin Holy Sect cannot resist it at all. After seeing Yilingtian's terrifying strength, the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin had the intention of embracing this fellow from the Northern Wilderness Territory. Now that he knows that Yilingtian is Holy Master Qingyan, Holy Master Heavenly Origin has no reason to refuse. With such thighs, even a second of hesitation would be disrespectful to Yilingtian. Ding! Congratulations to the Master for conquering the Holy Sect of Heavenly Origin and gaining 438,000 Immortal Dynasty points. Hearing the system prompts, Yilingtian was quite satisfied. Although it is several times lower than the more than 1 million Immortal Dynasty points provided by Burning Heaven Holy Land, it is still a considerable amount of income. Looking at the illusory soul of the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin, Yilingtian raised his hand and pointed at him again. The next second, a vibrant cyan energy directly wrapped the body of Holy Lord Heavenly Origin. The Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin's body, which was originally destroyed by Yilingtian, solidified again at a speed visible to the naked eye. This is the power of Xuanwang Great World Wonderland. Once you cross the level of Martial Emperor and reach the realm of True Immortal, as long as your soul is immortal, you can instantly reshape your body. My physical body, recovered. Feeling his body reunited, Holy Master Heavenly Origin was also extremely pleasantly surprised. While he was pleasantly surprised, his awe for Yilingtian also reached an unprecedented level. With just a slight finger, his body was reshaped. What kind of terrifying divine ability is this? And the Holy Lord of Heavenly Origin felt that the physical body that Yilingtian reshaped for him seemed to be more powerful than his original body. He actually showed vague signs of breaking through to the mid-level martial saint. Such a terrifying method. Even the famous martial emperors in Beidou Tianyu may not be able to do it easily. Subordinate Heavenly Origin, thank you Lord. Holy Lord Heavenly Origin suppressed the excitement in his heart and respectfully thanked Yilingtian. This time, he was a blessing in disguise. Yilingtian nodded and was about to leave Heavenly Origin Holy Sect, but he sensed a powerful energy wave from the eastern sky. The battle in the martial saint realm, and the aura of a foreign race. Yilingtian was slightly startled. After the dark demon race was destroyed, Yilingtian thought that there would be no more foreign races in the Beidou realm, but he did not expect to find the presence of foreign races again so quickly. Yilingtian did not hesitate, and his powerful consciousness instantly spread towards the east. Very quickly, Yilingtian's consciousness was locked on the 2 Taoist figures on the eastern edge of the Beidou Sky territory. One of the top-level sword masters of the human race is probably not inferior to the Huiyan Old Ghost of the Burning Sky Holy Land in terms of combat prowess. Such a character is definitely enough to be ranked at the top of the Beidou Heavenly Domain Saint list. However, at this moment, the human race sword master was in an extremely embarrassed shape, running away in panic at an extremely fast speed. Behind the human race swordsman, there was a burly black shadow 2 or 3 meters high, chasing him from the sky and the earth. This black giant is filled with demonic energy. Every move he made seemed to contain the power to shatter the world. Even this human race swordsman with extraordinary combat power was unable to compete with him head-on. He could only flee in panic under the powerful offensive of the black giant. What a powerful demon race! Yilingtian's eyes narrowed slightly. Although this black giant exudes the aura of demon race, it is completely different from the dark demon race. In every aspect, this black giant is more powerful than the dark demon race. Its combat power is even higher than that of the human race sword master of the same level, as if he was born to fight. Yi Lingtian did not hesitate and walked directly in front of the human race sword master. Looking at Yi Lingtian, who suddenly appeared in front of him, the human race swordsman was obviously stunned. Immediately, he quickly said with an anxious look on his face, "Little brother, Dongchen Tianyu has been invaded by aliens and is in danger. Go quickly and report to the martial emperor of your Beidou Tianyu." Just as the human race sword master was speaking, the black giant behind him struck directly with a punch that shattered the world. The Dongchen Tianyu sword master's expression suddenly changed. If he chooses to avoid it at this moment, the human race young man in front of him from Beidou Tianyu will definitely die. Hurry and report to the martial emperor of Beidou Tianyu. The Dongchen Tianyu sword master gritted his teeth and directly activated the power in his body, turning into a thunder sword field and colliding with the black giant's sky-breaking punch. Boom! The thunder sword domain was shattered. The terrifying fist force was like breaking a bamboo, directly hitting Dongchen Tianyu's sword master. If he is hit by this punch, even if he is a top-level swordsman, he will probably lose his skin even if he is not dead. Watching Dongchen Tianyu's sword master fall into crisis, Yi Lingtian couldn't help but raise his hand and wave, and the terrifying fist power that was directed towards the Dongchen Tianyu's sword master disappeared without a trace in an instant. What happened? This sudden scene immediately stunned Dongchen Tianyu's sword master, who was about to fight back desperately. He suddenly thought of something and couldn't help but look behind him suddenly. I saw that this human race young man from Beidou Tianyu had no intention of leaving at all. He still stood proudly on the spot, motionless, with an unusually calm expression, as if he didn't care about the battle in front of him at all. Dongchen Tianyu's sword master was shocked. Could it be that the young man in golden robe resolved the punch just now for him? Who is this guy? The Dongchen Tianyu's sword master is very clear about the strength of the black giant. The black giant comes from the demon race. It is a race born for fighting and has almost no opponents in the same realm. This black giant is already comparable to the half-emperor of the human race. Coupled with its terrifying combat power, almost no one under the martial emperor can compete with it. Now this young man in gold robe can easily neutralize the black giant's blow. This is really incredible. The other side, the black giant's eyes also fell on Yi Lingtian with sensitivity. Without any nonsense, he raised his hand and punched Yi Lingtian in the air. Boom! The terrifying fist force instantly blasted the space in front of Yi Lingtian into a huge black hole, as if it was about to swallow Yi Lingtian inside. Yi Lingtian flicked his finger, and the black hole was instantly annihilated into nothingness. Next moment, a sword energy passed through the black giant's body without any warning. The terrifying sword energy spread within his body, causing his burly body to freeze in place instantly. The black giant was shocked. He quickly mobilized the power in his body to destroy the sword energy in his body. However, in the face of these sword energies, all his resistance was in vain. The sword energy easily crushed his counterattack, destroying his internal organs and then flesh with lightning speed. It only takes a few seconds. The tall and burly body of the black giant disappeared without a trace in the void, as if it had never appeared before. Hiss! Seeing this incredible scene in front of him, Dongchen Tianyu's sword master couldn't help but take a breath. A nearly invincible demon race warrior under the martial emperor disappeared like this. Could this young man in golden robe be a martial emperor? Such a young martial emperor is simply unheard of. As far as he knows, the strength of Beidou Tianyu is slightly inferior to that of Dongchen Tianyu. When did such a monster appear? Shu Chenyi of Dongchen Tianyu has met Lord Martial Emperor. I don't know how to call Lord Martial Emperor. Shu Chenyi came to his senses and quickly bowed respectfully to Yi Lingtian. I am Yi Lingtian, you can call me Emperor Qingyan. How is Dongchen Tianyu doing now? Yi Lingtian didn't waste any time and asked directly. Back to Emperor Qingyan, the situation is not optimistic. One of the digital martial emperors of Dongchen Tianyu has fallen. The human race has been retreating steadily under the attack of the demon race, and 2/3 of its territory has fallen. I have been ordered to come to the Beidou Heavenly Territory to ask for help. I also ask the Emperor to summon the strong men from the Beidou Heavenly Territory to help me in the Dongchen Heavenly Territory. Shu Chenyi quickly knelt down in front of Yi Lingtian. Okay, let me go with you to Dongshan Tianyu. Yi Lingtian nodded. The four heavenly realms of the Xuanwang Great World do not have much connection with each other, but they are all the territory of the human race, and they are incompatible with the alien races. And, once Dongshan Tianyu is defeated by demon race, Zan demon race's claws will definitely extend to the other three major Tianyu. Now that Yi Lingtian knows about the situation in Dongshan Tianyu, he will naturally not sit idly by and ignore it. Emperor Qingyan, are you alone? Shu Chenyi was slightly startled. Just a martial emperor may not be able to change the current situation of Dongshan Tianyu. The Beidou heavenly territory has just been invaded by the dark demon race, and it is temporarily unable to send more powerful men to the Dongshan heavenly territory. Yi Lingtian smiled and said, "Don't worry, it's not one person, but 4 people." When Yi Lingtian spoke, he directly released Yu Wushwang and the others from the Hongmeng Tower. The 3 of them have been practicing in the Hongmeng Tower since they broke through the Beidou Heavenly Domain Saint list. Now, they have already reached the top level of Martial Saint, and are only one step away from becoming the Martial Emperor. Dongshan Tianyu encounter demon race's invasion. I will take you to Dongshan Tianyu to fight, will you go? Looking at Yu Wushwang and the other 2 people who were still confused, Yi Lingtian spoke directly. The 3 of them are extremely talented, and understanding how to break through combat is undoubtedly the fastest and most efficient way. The last time the 3 of them reached the top level of Martial God, and then began to challenge Beidou Tianyu Martial God, they all broke through the Martial God realm in less than half a month. This time I went to the Dongshan realm to train the 3 of them with the help of the demon race, allowing them to break through the Emperor realm. Go to Dongshan Tianyu to fight. As soon as Yi Lingtian said these words, the eyes of Yu Wushwang and the others suddenly lit up. They had cultivated to the top level of Martial Saint in Hongmeng Pagoda, and they had already been idle for a long time. When they heard Yi Lingtian said that they were going to Dongshan Tianyu to fight, they instantly got excited. Master, what are you waiting for if there's a fight? Let's go to Dongshan Tianyu as soon as possible. Yi Lingtian nodded and said to Shu Chenyi, without further delay, let's go. Looking at the 3 Taoist figures summoned by Yi Lingtian, it took Shu Chenyi a while to recover from the shock. Because these 3 guys in front of me are really evil. The oldest is only in his 20s, and the youngest is less than 10 years old. But the aura of the 3 of them is almost not inferior to his, and their cultivation has reached the top level of Martial Saint. This horse riding is simply outrageous. To know. The youngest person in the Martial Saint realm in their Dongshan Tianyu, the peerless being who surpassed the Emperor grade talent, also practiced for a whole 60 years before he broke through to the Martial Saint realm. A young Martial Emperor, 3 top-level Martial Saints with extraordinary talents. Such a lineup, although it may not be able to help Dongshan Tianyu repel the demon race, at least it can save some situations for Dongshan Tianyu. Shu Chenyi immediately stopped hesitating and took Yi Lingtian and 4 others into the air, quickly heading towards Dongshan Tianyu. Dongshan Tianyu. Xuanwang is one of the 4 heavens in the Great World. He is the most powerful existence among the 4 heavens and has always been ranked first among the 4 heavens. In Dongshan Tianyu, many true immortal realm experts who surpass the Martial Emperor level have been born. That's why, the strength of Dongshan Tianyu is more than 1 level stronger than that of Beidou Tianyu. There are not only 6 powerful Emperor realm warriors here, but also some forces with true immortal background, which can be said to be very powerful. However, even so, Dongshan Tianyu still couldn't withstand demon race's powerful offensive and retreated steadily all the way. Now Dongshan Tianyu human race is almost trapped in the northern region by the demon race. It controls 1/3 of the northern territory, and the remaining 2/3 of the territory has been captured by the demon race. Although the 4 heavenly realms of the Xuanwang Great World are separated by an invisible force of space, they are not far from each other. Less than half a day, Yi Lingtian and the 4 of them crossed the endless space and landed in Dongshan heavenly territory. Emperor Qingyan, this is the southern part of Dongshan Tianyu. It has been captured by demon race. Let's leave here quickly and go to the territory of human race in the north. Shu Chenyi looked at the surrounding environment with a worried look in his eyes. Shu Chenyi originally wanted to circle around Dongshan Tianyu and directly come to the area controlled by human race in the northern part of Dongshan Tianyu. But Yi Lingtian insisted on entering Dongshan Tianyu directly. Although their group is not weak. One martial emperor and 4 top-level martial saints. But such a lineup is still a bit underwhelming in the face of the powerful demon race. What are you going to do in the north? Yi Lingtian glanced at Shu Chenyi, smiled calmly and said, isn't the Tianshao Imperial City where your Shu clan is located in the south of Dongchen Tianyu? Don't you want to take back the Tianshao Imperial City from demon race? Quote. Seize, take back Tianshao Emperor City. Shu Chenyi was immediately stunned by Yi Lingtian's crazy idea. Demon race appeared very suddenly in Dongchen Tianyu. Tianshao Emperor City is located in the southwest region of Dongchen Tianyu. It was surrounded and suppressed by demon race from the beginning, and there was no chance to retreat to the north. After a big battle, Shu Tianshao, the leader of their Shu clan and a powerful warrior in the emperor realm, fell. The strong men of the Shu clan suffered countless casualties, and the Tianshao Imperial City was completely destroyed. Shu Chenyi escaped from Tianshao Imperial City by luck, but was also chased by the strong demon race warriors. Seeing that human race in Dongchen Sky Territory was retreating steadily under the attack of demon race, Shu Chenyi went to Beidou Sky Territory and asked for help from Beidou Sky Territory. Tianshao Emperor City is the base camp of the Shu clan. Shu Chenyi naturally hopes to take back Tianshao Imperial City from demon race. Nowadays, the main force fighting the demon race is fighting against the human race from the Dongchen Tianyu in the north. The defense force of Tianshao Imperial City will not be too strong. With the strength of Yi Lingtian and others, they are indeed capable of helping him regain the Tianshao Imperial City. Only, it is easy to take back Tianshao Imperial City, but it is not easy to defend Tianshao Imperial City. Once demon race reacts, what awaits them will probably be encirclement and suppression by demon race. Why, are you scared? Yi Lingtian raised his eyebrows. What do I, Shu Chenyi, have to be afraid of? Shu Chenyi hesitated for a moment and said with a wry smile, I just don't want to implicate you, Emperor Qingyan. Yi Lingtian said calmly, since you are not afraid, then lead the way. Emperor, please follow me. Shu Chenyi gritted his teeth and headed towards Tianshao Imperial City. Since Yi Lingtian is determined to go to Tianshao Imperial City, he will risk his life to accompany Junzi, and the worst he can do is die. Tianshao Emperor City, Shu Clan Imperial Palace, the main hall. A burly man in black clothes with piercing eyes was lying boredly on the main seat of the hall, carrying a jar of fine wine. The big man in black is the demon emperor Zan Yuan who guards Tianshao Emperor City. What's going on in the north? Zan Yuan raised the wine jar and took a sip, then asked a guard below the hall. Lord Demon Emperor Qi, we are still at a stalemate. The guard quickly replied. The Dongchen Tianyu human race asked the celestial immortal sect. The foundation is very strong. Our strength will not be able to completely defeat them for a while. What do you think is good about guarding this Tianshao Emperor City? Lord Zan Huan insists that I guard it. In my opinion, we should concentrate our efforts and go to the north to fight against the human race in Dongchen Tianyu. Zan Yuan said with a dissatisfied look. Fighting demon race is an existence born for fighting. Asking him to guard the Tianshao Emperor City made Zan Yuan feel a little panicked. The southern part of the Dongchen Heavenly Territory has been fully occupied by the demon race. Even if the surrendered human race has different intentions, it will not make any waves at all. Zan Yuan really couldn't figure out what was so good about guarding this Tianshao Emperor City. After hearing Zan Yuan's words, the guard chose to remain silent. He couldn't afford to offend the Zan Yuan in front of him, and he couldn't afford to offend Master Zan Huan even more. Forget it, let's wait and see. Zan Yuan sighed softly. Although he was a little dissatisfied, he did not dare to disobey the order easily, so he could only continue drinking in a depressed manner. Zan Yuan brought up the wine jar and was about to get drunk before resting, but suddenly he sensed something. Zan Yuan couldn't help but suddenly raised his head and looked towards the void outside Tianshao Emperor City. There, 5 Taoist shadows are slowly walking through the void towards Tianshao Emperor City. The leader was a young man in gold robe, whose aura was so mysterious that even he couldn't see through it. Behind the young man in gold robe, the 4 Taoist shadows are all extremely powerful, and each of them has almost reached the top level of martial saint. One of the sword masters was Shu Chenyi who escaped from Tianshao Imperial City. This guy is still alive. Zhan Yuan's eyes couldn't help but condense suddenly. He sent a half-emperor realm general to hunt down Shu Chenyi. Now Shu Chenyi is not only alive, but also leads several human race experts back to Tianshao Imperial City. Doesn't this mean that something happened to the half-emperor realm general? Zhan Yuan casually threw the wine jar aside and appeared in the sky above Tianshao Emperor City in a flash. His sharp gaze was directly locked on Shu Chenyi, and he said coldly, "Shu Chenyi, I didn't expect that you would dare to return to Tianshao Imperial City. This really surprises me." Shu Chenyi said in a deep voice, "Tianshao Imperial City is the territory of my Shu clan, and I, Shu Chenyi, will naturally take it back." "Just you." Zhan Yuan laughed disdainfully, and the terrifying demon emperor's aura instantly spread overwhelmingly over Tianshao Emperor City. "The human races in front of me are indeed extraordinary. Especially the young man in golden robes at the head has an extremely mysterious aura, but so what? Even if this young man in golden robe is a martial emperor, what does Zhan Yuan have to fear? Emperor, apart from this one, there should be no strong demon race warriors in the Tianshao Imperial City. As long as the emperor holds him back, we can easily take back the Tianshao Imperial City." Shu Chenyi glanced at Zhan Yuan and couldn't help but whisper beside Yi Lingtian. "Not urgent." Yi Lingtian smiled indifferently, then looked at Yu Wushwang and the others and said, "This guy is a good sparring partner. Which of you would like to play with him?" With the talents of Yu Wushwang and the others, few people in the same realm can put pressure on them. Only by using the Demon Emperor as a sparring partner can the potential of the three of them be stimulated, allowing the three of them to break through the Emperor realm faster. Anyway, with him watching from the side, there won't be any big problems. "I'll go first." Yu Wushwang did her job and was the first to stand up. She didn't have any nonsense. The power in her body exploded to the limit instantly. A ray of moonlight sword energy broke through the sky and earth in an instant, and slashed straight at Zhan Yuan. Court death. Zhan Yuan's eyes flashed. He raised his hand and punched out. Boom. A loud noise suddenly erupted in the void. Yu Wushwang retreated continuously. Zhan Yuan raised his palm and looked at the sword mark on his palm, and was surprised. This little girl is not simple. He fought the demon race demon emperor with dignity, but was actually injured by a little human race girl who was in the martial saint realm. Yu Wushwang stabilized his figure, and a huge full moon suddenly condensed behind him, and his aura doubled in an instant. Her eyes were cold, and a sword light carrying endless lunar power pierced the sky and earth, and crashed down towards Zhan Yuan again. "Break it for me." Zhan Yuan roared angrily and punched the ground with another shocking punch. Boom. The sword light was instantly shattered by Zhan Yuan's punch. Yu Wushwang's figure was once again knocked back 100 feet. With an expressionless face, she opened the heavenly gate with one sword, causing the immortal to strike with his sword, and then slashed at Zhan Yuan with his sword again. This little girl is really no ordinary monster. Looking at the battle in front of him, Shu Chenyi couldn't help but take a deep breath. As a top-level sword master, Shu Chenyi naturally knows very well how big the gap is between the martial saint realm and the martial emperor realm. His combat prowess is enough to rank among the top 5 in the martial saint realm of Dongchen Tianyu, but he can barely compete with the half-emperor. If he faced the real martial emperor, he might not be able to stop him with a single move. And this demon race demon emperor is even more powerful than the human race martial emperor of the same realm. This little girl can actually be tough with him. Although every move is at a disadvantage, it is not something that ordinary martial saints can do. 3 fighting demon styles, sky-splitting style. Facing the terrifying sword that broke through the heavenly gate, Zhan Yuan roared angrily, and the surging heavenly demon chi instantly turned into a giant palm that covered the sky and the sun, and struck at the terrifying sword that fell down, past. Wherever the giant palm passed, the void was torn apart with cracks as large as 100 feet, just like the abyss of the sky. Boom! A sword and a palm collided together in the void. The void is shattered, and the heaven and earth are turbulent. Yu Wushwang's petite figure flew upside down for thousands of feet, and then slowly stabilized her figure. Her delicate little face also turned a little pale. On the opposite side, the demon emperor Zhan Yuan stood motionless and proud, like a god of war. Obviously, fighting the demon emperor at the martial saint level, even for a being like Yu Wushwang who has a peerless immortal body, is still very difficult. But, Yu Wushwang's previous sword attack was not without any achievements. I saw faintly dark red blood on Zhan Yuan's right hand, dripping down drop by drop from his palm. He was injured by Yu Wushwang's sword just now. I never expected that in the human race of Dongchen Tianyu, there would be a peerless monster like you. You are the first one who can hurt me with your cultivation in the martial saint realm. Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan stared at Yu Wushwang, his eyes filled with murderous intent. The talent of this little girl from human race is simply terrifying to the extreme. At less than 10 years old, he has the cultivation level of a top-level martial saint, and his combat power far exceeds those of his peers, and is even stronger than some half-emperors in the human race. If this little girl breaks through the emperor realm, even if they are born to fight demon race, there are probably few people in the same realm who can match them. This little girl cannot be allowed to grow up. Otherwise, it will definitely become a serious problem for them. Think of this. The Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor no longer had any reservations, and directly activated the Zhan demon body, transforming into a 1,000-foot giant like a demon god. In demon race, each different branch of demon race can condense different demonic bodies. Different demon bodies have different strengths and weaknesses. For example, the demon race's demon body is enough to rank among the top 3 demon bodies. The demon race demonic body is somewhat similar to the condensed imperial body of the human race martial emperor, but it is completely different. Emperor body, human race martial arts can only be condensed after reaching the martial emperor realm. People of the demon race are born with the ability to condense demonic bodies, and the demonic bodies will continue to grow stronger as their strength increases. Compared to human race, demon race is uniquely endowed with an absolute advantage in his cultivation. 3 fighting demon styles, burning heaven style. After Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor condensed the war demon body, he directly activated the second of the 3 war demon moves. Boom! A terrifying fist condensed by black magic flames, carrying fiery energy that burned the world, blasted towards Yu Wushwang. This punch was more than twice as terrifying as the previous blow from Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan. Master, please replace me and let me take my time first. After fighting against the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan for 3 consecutive moves, Yu Wushwang's internal strength had been exhausted. Knowing that he could not block the attack from Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan, Yu Wushwang couldn't help but call out to Yiling Tian. Yiling Tian raised his hand and waved. Buzz! A golden barrier instantly emerged in the void, enveloping the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor and the surrounding 10,000 feet of space. Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor's burning heaven punch hit the golden barrier directly. However, this punch failed to cause any fluctuations in the golden barrier, as if it was like a stone sinking into the ocean, unable to shake the golden barrier at all. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan's eyes couldn't help but condense suddenly. His huge foot stepped in the void, and the 1,000-foot-long war demon body exploded out, crashing into the golden barrier like a black meteorite. Boom! A loud noise suddenly erupted in the void. The 1,000-foot-long body of the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor was instantly bounced back by the power coming from the golden barrier. But the golden barrier is still impregnable and unscathed. What exactly is this power? Feeling the churning breath in his body, Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor was shocked and angry. Who is the young man in golden robe who is leading him opposite? He fought demon race with dignity, but was trapped by the opponent's understatement. Seeing the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor running rampant in the golden barrier like a trapped beast, Shu Chenyi was so shocked that his eyes nearly popped out. Although he also knew that it must be extraordinary for Yiling Tian to become a martial emperor at such a young age. But he never thought of it. Yiling Tian was actually so powerful. With just a wave of his hand, the demon race Demon Emperor was trapped. This is incredible. You two, who will go first? Yiling Tian trapped the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan with one move, took Yu Wushwang into the Hongmeng Tower to regain his strength, and then looked at Tuoba Zhan and Yi Lin. Lord, I'll go first. Tuoba Zhan said with a smile and floated directly into the space enveloped by the golden barrier. He didn't talk nonsense. He swung the feather fan in his hand and began to speak the truth. The wind is coming. A strong wind suddenly rose in the void, and the wind blades cut the space around the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor into pieces. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan raised his hand and shattered the surrounding wind with one punch. The rain is coming. Tuoba Zhan let out another soft sound, and the downpour was like the Milky Way bursting its banks, pouring down with incomparable power. Thunder comes. The call is coming. Sky thunder rolled in the void, shaking all directions, and huge lightning bolts tore through the space and fell towards the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan. Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor punched one after another, crushing the power summoned by Tuoba Zhan again and again. However, under Tuoba Zhan's control, these natural forces seemed to be endless. Just as Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor defeated one wave, another wave of wind, rain, thunder and lightning surrounded Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor. The feather fan in Tuoba Zhan's hand kept moving, and mysterious powers were constantly integrated into the power of wind, rain, thunder and lightning he summoned. Next moment, Tuoba Zhan's faint voice instantly resounded throughout the world. Gods will turns into 4 elephants, kill. The faint voice resounded throughout the world. The power of wind, rain, thunder and lightning that enveloped the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor quickly changed and gathered, and finally turned into 4 different phantoms, like 4 gods. The god of wind condensed with the power of wind. The water god who condenses the power of rain. The god of thunder who condenses the power of thunder. The god of electricity condensed with the power of electricity. The 4 gods almost killed the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan at the same time. This is not the power of the human race martial saint at all. Who is this kid? The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan looked solemnly. Faced with such a weird divine ability, Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor did not hesitate at all and directly performed the last of the 3 Zhan Demon moves. 3 fighting demon styles, breaking the sky style. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan roared angrily, and the overwhelming demonic energy instantly turned into a demonic figure holding a giant axe. With the power of shattering the world, it collided with the power of the 4 images transformed by Tuoba's profound heaven. Rumble. A loud sound of earth shattering suddenly erupted in the void, and the vast space enveloped by the golden barrier turned into chaos. Tuoba Zhan's face turned pale, and he stepped backwards through the void. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan trembled all over, and he couldn't help but let out a muffled groan. He suppressed the churning breath in his body, not intending to give Tuoba Zhan any chance to breathe, and punched Tuoba Zhan again. The young man in front of him is not inferior in combat power to the little girl just now. Another human race monster. Such an existence must not be allowed to remain. Is this the power of Confucianism? The explosive power is more terrifying than that of martial arts cultivators of the same level. Unfortunately, it cannot fight for a long time. Seeing the methods used by Tuoba Zhan, Yilingtian gained some understanding of Confucianism and Taoism. Although Tuoba Zhan's blow was so powerful that it even seriously injured the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor, it almost exhausted his own strength, and it was obvious that he could no longer continue fighting against the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor. Seeing that Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan wanted to kill Tuoba Zhan with one punch, Yilingtian pointed out in the air. A sword energy roared through the space, defeating the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor's fist strength, and then nailed it directly between the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor's eyebrows, imprisoning him in place. Immediately afterwards, Yilingtian stretched out his hand and grabbed Tuoba Zhan directly from the golden barrier and threw him into the Hongmeng Tower. He looked at Yilin beside him and said calmly, "Yilin, come on." "Yes, master," Yilin responded and stepped into the golden barrier. After Yilin entered, the sword energy that was nailed to the forehead of Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan also dissipated in an instant. After regaining his freedom, Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan felt ashamed and angry. At this moment, of course he understood. The young man in gold robe opposite was extremely powerful, and he obviously had the ability to kill him easily. The reason why they didn't kill him directly and trapped him in this golden barrier was because they wanted him to be a whetstone for these 3 human race geniuses. He fought the demon race Demon Emperor with dignity, but was reduced to being the human race's sparring partner, and there was nothing he could do about it. Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan felt extremely aggrieved. He stared at Yilin ferociously, with a crazy look on his face. "You want to use me as a magic sword stone, right? Today, no matter what the cost, I will drag one of you to be buried with me." The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan roared in his heart and struck directly to kill Yilin. This Emperor Qingyan and his disciples are all freaks that cannot be described by common sense. Shu Chenyi was already extremely shocked. Even though he has lived for thousands of years, he has never encountered anything in his life that can shock him to such an extent. It is no exaggeration to say that the Qingyan Emperor, Yilingtian, is called the youngest martial emperor in history. This guy is not only the youngest martial emperor, but his strength is also unfathomable. Demon emperors like Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor and Demon Race Demon Emperor are just playthings in his hands, and are used as sparring partners for his disciples. How crazy is it to use the Demon Emperor as your sparring partner? But Yi Lingtian can control the heavenly Demon Emperor with just a snap of his fingers. The 3 disciples under his sect all have the strength to compete with the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan with their cultivation in the martial saint realm. Only such a terrifying combination can be confident enough to use the Demon Emperor as a sparring partner. Within the golden barrier, Yi Lin saw the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan coming towards him, and the power in his body surged wildly, turning the space around him into a vibrant cyan world. Immediately, towering ancient trees with a height of 100 feet appeared out of thin air in the blue world, blocking the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan shattered a towering ancient tree with one punch, and soon a new towering ancient tree grew up, and the cycle continued endlessly. Even if he was as powerful as the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan, it would be difficult to get close to Yi Lin for a while. Is this the power of the immortal sword body? Yi Lingtian clicked his tongue in surprise. Yi Lin's immortal sword body may not be as good as Yu Wushwang's Taiyan immortal body and Tuoba Zan's Confucian and Taoist immortal body in terms of attack, but in terms of defense and long-term combat, it is obviously better. If you encounter an opponent of equal combat strength, this endless power alone is enough to consume the opponent alive. Only, the opponent Yi Lin faces now is the powerful demon race. Although Yu Wushwang and Tuoba Zan took action one after another, and Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor was no longer at his peak, he was not something Yi Lin could defeat. A few minutes later, Yi Lin could hardly resist. Seeing this, Yi Lingtian followed suit again, nailing the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan with one sword, pulling Yi Lin out of the golden barrier and throwing him into the Hongmeng Tower. Immediately afterwards, Yi Lingtian released Yu Wushwang from Hongmeng Tower again. Although it only took a moment for Yu Wushwang to enter the Hongmeng Tower, several days passed inside the Hongmeng Tower. After Yu Wushwang came out of Hongmeng Tower, it was obvious that she had already returned to her peak condition. Her delicate little face was full of fighting spirit. Without waiting for Yi Lingtian's instructions, she rushed directly into the golden barrier and fought against the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor again. This time, Yu Wushwang's aura became stronger and stronger, and for a while she was on a par with the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan. After a few moves, Yu Wushwang's whole body erupted with incomparably bright moonlight, and her whole body suddenly rose thousands of feet tall, like a peerless empress looking down on all living beings, standing proudly between heaven and earth. Seeing this scene in front of him, Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor's expression became extremely ugly. Martial Emperor's body, half-emperor realm. This little girl's talent is extremely monstrous. She was still at the top level of martial saint just now, but she broke through half of the emperor realm with just a few strokes. Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor's mentality was a bit broken. Previously in the martial saint realm, this little girl's combat power was already terrifying. Now that he has broken through half the emperor realm, his combat power is several times higher, and he may truly have the ability to fight him. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan took a deep breath. His expression suddenly became extremely ferocious, and a look of determination flashed across his eyes. The Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan stared at Yu Wushwang, and the demonic energy all over his body began to become violent. The young man in the golden robe of the human race can control his life and death with just a few gestures, and his strength has obviously surpassed the level of the martial emperor. He is destined to die today. In this case, let this little girl be buried with him. The violent demonic energy surged inside the Zhan Yuan Demon Emperor's body, causing his huge demonic body to double in size again. Next moment, the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan rushed towards Yu Wushwang with a roar, and his huge body exploded like a balloon that had inflated to the extreme. Boom! A force that destroyed the heaven and earth also quickly swept towards Yu Wushwang. As the demon race Demon Emperor, the Demon Emperor Zhan Yuan obviously did not want to continue to be at the mercy of Yi Lingtian and be regarded as the whetstone for these human race geniuses, so he directly and decisively chose to self-destruct. A Demon Emperor blew himself up. Even ordinary warriors from the Emperor realm may have to retreat when faced with such terrifying power. Self-destruction. Yi Lingtian raised his eyebrows slightly, but did not take action directly. He also wants to see if Yu Wushwang, who possesses the Taiyan immortal body, can defeat the real Emperor Realm Master at the half-Emperor level. The moon is coming, Yu Wushwang shouted softly, and the bright moonlight suddenly fell from the void, as if the heaven and earth were covered with a beautiful silver gauze. Immediately afterwards, a full moon exuding a sacred aura descended from the void like a huge silver plate, blocking the destructive energy of the Zanyuan Demon Emperor's self-destruction. Click. The full moon was in a stalemate with the destructive energy for a moment, but could no longer hold on and made a crisp sound. Immediately, cracks spread across the full moon like spider webs. Come last. The huge full moon shattered into pieces, turning into dots of silver light and dissipating between the sky and the earth. And the demonic storm of destruction swept towards Yu Wushwang again. One sword of the moon god. The full moon is broken. Yu Wushwang was not panicked at all. She broke open the heavenly gate with one sword, summoned a peerless figure who looked like a fairy from the moon palace, and slashed at the destructive storm in front of her with one sword. This sword seems plain, but after coming into contact with the sweeping storm of destruction, the storm of destruction quickly dissipated at a speed visible to the naked eye. Just for a moment, Zanyuan Demon Emperor blew himself up and was completely defeated by this sword. As expected of the Taiyan immortal body, this sword probably has at least the divine ability of the immortal sword art. Yi Lingtian couldn't help but sigh in wonder in his heart. When Yu Wushwang was in the martial saint realm, he could already go head-to-head with the Zanyuan Demon Emperor by using this sword. Now that he has broken through half the Emperor realm, with the blessing of the Emperor's body, the power of this sword has increased countless times compared to before. With just this sword, Yu Wushwang had the capital to defeat the martial emperor. Solved the Demon Emperor Zanyuan. Although there are still some demon races in Tianshao Imperial City, the strongest ones are comparable to the level of the martial saint realm. Yi Lingtian didn't take any action at all. Shu Chenyi and Yu Wushwang alone killed all the demon races in Tianshao Imperial City and easily recaptured Tianshao Imperial City. Tianshao Emperor City, Shu Family Imperial Palace. Shu Chenyi looked at the familiar environment around him, feeling as if he was in a dream. A battle that day. The martial emperor of the Shu family fell, Tianshao Imperial City fell, and the strong men of the Shu family were massacred by demon race. Even those who survived like him were reduced to lost dogs. He fled into the Beidou Heavenly Territory, asked for help from the Beidou Heavenly Territory, and then met Yi Lingtian, the emperor of Qingyan. The Qingyan emperor not only rescued him, but also followed him to Dongchen Tianyu and directly helped him regain the Tianshao Emperor City. Shu Chenyi never thought of it in his dreams. He was actually able to return to Tianshao Emperor City in such a short period of time. Chenyi thanks Emperor Qingyan for his great kindness. Looking at Yi Lingtian in front of him, Shu Chenyi couldn't help but bow deeply, and he was also grateful to Yi Lingtian from the bottom of his heart. If it were not for Yi Lingtian, it would be a question whether Shu Chenyi could survive. Even if you were lucky enough to survive, I am afraid that you may not have the chance to take back Tianshao Imperial City from demon race in this life. You are welcome. Yi Lingtian waved his hand and said with a smile, the Xuanwang Great World is the territory of the human race. We should work together to fight against the alien race. Emperor, the news of the fall of Demon Emperor Zanyuan will soon spread throughout Dongchen Tianyu. Tianshao Imperial City will probably face the encirclement and suppression of demon race again next. I wonder what the Emperor's plans are. Shu Chenyi's expression looked extremely solemn. Although the strength of Emperor Qingyan is very powerful, but demon race's power is far beyond imagination. Emperor Qingyan is naturally not afraid of a demon emperor fighting demon race, but if 3 or 5 demon emperors are sent out by demon race, can Emperor Qingyan still be able to withstand them? Don't worry, they won't have a chance to surround Tianshao Imperial City. As Yi Lingtian said, he couldn't help but look at Yu Wushwang and the others, and said with a smile, you can go out on your own next. If you encounter a life or death crisis, just call me. Now that Yu Wushwang has broken through half of the Emperor realm, Tuo Bazan and Yi Lin's combat power is also not weak. If the 3 of them join forces, even the Demon Emperor may not be unable to kill him. And the 3 of them are all peerless monsters that cannot be measured by common sense. As long as they are given a few more opponents of the Demon Emperor realm, they may be able to complete their transformation and break through the Emperor realm. By the time, Yu Wushwang and the others alone may be able to turn the entire Dongchen Heavenly Territory upside down. After Yu Wushwang and the others left, Yi Lingtian couldn't help but look towards the north of Dongshan Tianyu. Although the Dongshan Heavenly Territory is wider than the Beidou Heavenly Territory, Yi Lingtian's cultivation at the peak of True Immortal can still have a panoramic view of the entire Dongshan Heavenly Territory. He can feel it. In the north of Dongshan Tianyu, there is a place where strong warriors gather. That should be where the main force of demon race is. In that place, not only were there many powerful Demon Emperor Realm Masters, Yi Lingtian even felt two powerful auras that were not weaker than the Dark Demon Lord. Obviously, battle in demon race, there are two demon fairies who transcend the Demon Emperor realm. As far as Yi Lingtian knows, in the demon race, the demon immortals above the Demon Emperor are divided into levels 1 to 7 from bottom to top, corresponding to the 7 wonderlands of the Xuanwang Great World. These two fighting demon race demon immortals should both be at the level of the First Order Demon Immortal. One of them should have reached the peak of the First Order Demon Immortal and be at the same level as him. Two powerful men of the Demon Immortal grade are in a bit of trouble. Yi Lingtian couldn't help but murmur in his heart. If it were one-on-one, with his current strength, he would not be afraid of any first-level Demon Immortal. With 1 against 2, it is unknown whether it can survive. Yi Lingtian frowned. Without using peerless character cards, it is probably not an easy task to destroy the demon race in Dongshan Tianyu. The peerless character card was only in Dongshan Tianyu, and Yi Lingtian did not intend to use it easily. After all, he now only has the peerless fragment card of a boss named Yi. The Immortal Dynasty points in hand are far from enough to synthesize 100 excellent character cards to upgrade them into peerless character cards. This peerless character card is Yi Lingtian's only trump card now. Just in case, Yi Lingtian will not use it easily until he has enough Immortal Dynasty points to synthesize the second peerless character card. It seems we have to find a way to defeat them one by one. Yi Lingtian's eyes flickered slightly. With two first-level demon immortals staying together, it might not be easy for him to kill them all with 1 against 2. It would be much easier if we could separate these two people and kill the weaker demon fairy first. Yu Wushwang and the other 3 were undoubtedly his bargaining chips to lure out a demon immortal. With the talents of Yu Wushwang and the others, it would be only a matter of time before they could break through the Emperor realm. Once the 3 of them break through the Emperor realm, even if they fight demon race's Demon Emperor, there is probably nothing anyone can do to defeat them. By the time, the only way to fight demon race is to dispatch a demon fairy to deal with Yu Wushwang and the others. He can take this opportunity to kill this demon fairy. Sister Tongzi, the demon fairy fighting demon race shouldn't be able to detect my existence, right? Yi Lingtian couldn't help but ask in his heart. Master, don't worry, I will hide your aura for you. As long as the master doesn't take the initiative to expose your aura, even the Immortal Emperor will have trouble detecting it. Loli Tongzi's arrogant voice also sounded in Yi Lingtian's mind. Yi Lingtian felt a lot more relieved after hearing this. As long as the demon race cannot find him, he has a higher chance of success in killing a demon race by surprise. Dongshan Tianyu, North. Ask Celestial Immortal Mountain. This is a fairy mountain with a great reputation in Dongshan Tianyu. The aura here is rich, like a fairyland. This is also where the Celestial Immortal Sect, the first sect in the Dongshan Tianyu, is located. Ask the Celestial Immortal Sect. Dongshan Tianyu has an ancient sect with a long history. Question. The Celestial Immortal Sect not only has a long history, but also has an extremely profound foundation. It has given birth to more than one immortal warrior who surpassed the Emperor realm in martial arts. Although today's Celestial Immortal Sect, there is no fairyland powerhouse in charge. But the Celestial Immortal Sect has the heritage left by the powerful men in the Immortal Realm and has the capital to compete with the Immortal Realm. This time Dongshan Tianyu encountered the invasion of demon race. If it were not for the existence of Celestial Immortal Sect, Dongshan Tianyu human race would have been defeated by demon race long ago. But, even if you ask the Celestial Immortal Sect, they can only rely on their profound knowledge to barely hold on to the northern third of the Dongshan Heavenly Territory. Nowadays, almost all the human race experts in Dongshan Tianyu have gathered to ask the Celestial Immortal Sect. The main army fighting demon race is also hoarding outside Celestial Immortal Mountain, confronting Dongshan Tianyu human race, trying to defeat Dongshan Tianyu human race in one fell swoop. Ask Celestial Immortal Mountain outside, fighting demon race station. A burly man with a majestic appearance and an aura far superior to that of the demon emperor asked visually about the direction of Celestial Immortal Mountain, not knowing what he was thinking about. The burly man is none other than Zan Huan, the commander of the demon race in Dongchen Tianyu. A demon fairy who has reached the peak of the first level. Mr. Yan, this question about the Celestial Immortal sect is really a tough nut to crack. I don't know how long it took, but the burly man sighed softly and couldn't help but look at the old man in black next to him. Fight Demon Race, the top 3 top clans in the Chaos Great World Demon Race. Zan Huan was born in a small side clan of Zan Demon Race. In Zan Demon Race, he is completely transparent and has no sense of existence. Now in the main world of Xuanwang, the war between Demon Race and Human Race has reached a stalemate. Demon Race also attempted to change its strategy and first capture other places in the Xuanwang Great World except the main world of Xuanwang. The 4 realms of the Xuanwang Great World are undoubtedly the first target of the Demon Race. Then, Zan Huan took the initiative to ask for help, and Zan Demon Race spent a huge price to send their small side clan to Dongchen Tianyu. In the battlefield of Xuanwang Lord World, a small clan like them is destined to become cannon fodder. But in the 4 heavenly realms where strong men in the fairyland are rare, they are almost invincible. Come to Dongchen Tianyu, not only can you escape the fate of cannon fodder, but you can even hope to dominate a region. This is undoubtedly an excellent opportunity for them. Zan Huan originally thought, with the strength of their clan, they should be able to easily sweep the Dongchen Tianyu human race and make Dongchen Tianyu surrender under their feet. But I didn't expect it. Dongchen Tianyu, which does not have strong people in the fairyland, can be so tenacious. Clan leader, please be patient. The Celestial Immortal sect may not be able to sustain it for long. The old man in black smiled faintly. Just as he was about to say something, he felt a slight fluctuation in the space in front of him, and a black shadow instantly appeared in front of them. Reporting to the Patriarch, something happened in the south. Just now, the demon emperor Zanyuan who guarded Tianshao Emperor City fell. The black shadow saluted Zan Huan, and the somewhat panicked voice rang directly in the ears of the 2 of them. Has Zan Yuan fallen? Hearing Hai Ying's words, Zan Huan and Zan Huan were obviously stunned for a moment. They looked at each other and saw the shock that was hard to conceal in each other's eyes. Tianshao Emperor City is located in the southwest of Dongchen Tianyu. It was also the first territory they captured when they came to Dongchen Tianyu. Even the martial emperor of the Shu clan in Tianshao Imperial City fell into their hands. Now the southern 2/3 of Dongchen Tianyu has surrendered to the demon race. The remaining emperor realm warriors from the Dongchen Heavenly Realm gathered to ask the Celestial Immortal sect, why did the Zanyuan demon emperor suddenly fall in the south? Clan leader, the natives of Dongchen Tianyu should not have the strength to kill the Zanyuan demon emperor. The old man in black was stunned for a moment, and finally came to his senses, and slowly said, now Zan Yuan Demon Emperor, there is only one possibility, the reinforcements from the human race of Dongchen Tianyu have arrived. When Zan Huan heard this, his eyes couldn't help but condense slightly. In addition to the main world of Xuanwang, the Xuanwang Great World has 4 major heavens. Dongchen Tianyu is just one of them. Now that Dongchen Tianyu is in crisis, it is natural to ask for help from the other 3 major Tianyus. Only, Zan Huan obviously did not expect that the reinforcements from Dongchen Tianyu would come so suddenly. None of them noticed at all that the Zanyuan Demon Emperor fell. It can be seen from this. Dongchen Tianyu's reinforcements are extremely strong. This is not good news for them against demon race. Zan Huan's powerful spiritual consciousness spread overwhelmingly towards the south of Dongchen Tianyu, and quickly locked onto Tianshao Emperor City. But he did not sense any aura of martial emperor in Tianshao Emperor City. Zan Heng was slightly startled, and a look of astonishment appeared on his face. There is no aura of human race martial emperor in Tianshao Emperor City. How did Zan Yuan Demon Emperor fall? Mr. Yan, what do you think about this matter? Zan Huan looked at the old man in black beside him, and his expression became a little gloomy. The Demon Emperor Zan Yuan has fallen, but there is no trace of the powerful human race in the south, which is really strange. This also means, there are uncertain factors in Dongchen Tianyu that are beyond the control of demon race. Regarding the situation in Tianshao Underground City, the old man in black was obviously aware of it. Being able to kill the Zan Yuan demon without them noticing is something that no ordinary human race martial emperor can do. Unless it's human race true immortal. Only Xuanwang great world human race martial arts cultivator, once he breaks through the true immortal realm above the martial emperor, he will break the void and go to the main world of Xuanwang. That place is the stage for the powerful in Wonderland. It is not easy for the powerful people in the fairyland of the Xuanwang Lord world to come to the Dongqian heavenly territory again. It is simply difficult for the powerful people in the fairyland to do so. They can appear in Dongqian Tianyu because demon race paid a huge price to send them here. How could human race true immortal appear in Dongqian Tianyu? Chief, there is something fishy about this matter. Let's just wait and see what happens. Battle demon race. There are 2 demon emperors in the south. I will ask them to pay attention to the situation in Tianshao Emperor City. If there is a strong human race person they can't deal with, I will personally take action. The old man in black was silent for a moment, and then he spoke. Now that the situation is unclear, the old man in black does not intend to head to Tianshao Emperor City to investigate the situation. The strong human race who appeared in Tianshao Emperor City could easily kill the Zanyuan demon emperor and then completely hide his aura. It was obviously not easy. Even if it's not human race true immortal, I'm afraid there are still methods left by the powerful true immortal ones. At this moment, maybe human race has laid an ambush in Tianshao Emperor City, waiting for those who fight demon race to fall into the trap. Before he knew the specific situation, he would naturally not take action rashly due to his cautious nature. Zan Huan nodded. He has always been very reassured about the old man in black. His eyes looked in the direction of Celestial Immortal Sect again. It is enough for Mr. Yan to handle matters in the south. How to break through the Celestial Immortal Sect's complete control of Dongqian Tianyu is what he should consider. Now the strong men in Dongqian Tianyu are all hiding in the Celestial Immortal Sect. They rely on the knowledge of the Celestial Immortal Sect to deal with Zan demon race. For a while, Zan Huan has no better way. It seems we have to find a way to lure the strong human race away from the Celestial Immortal Sect. Zan Huan rubbed his chin. What happened in Tianshao Imperial City may be known to the strong human race experts from the Celestial Immortal Sect. If they learn that someone has killed Demon Emperor Zanyuan in Tianshao Emperor City, they might be ready to take action. If you make good use of this matter, it might become a breakthrough to defeat the Dongqian Tianyu human race. 9 Profound Emperor Palace. The famous Emperor Grade Force in the south of Dongqian Tianyu. Its master, the 9 Profound Emperor Lord, is also one of the top martial emperor realm experts in Dongqian Tianyu. However, under demon race's powerful offensive, even a master as powerful as the 9 Profound Emperor could not withstand it at all. He had to take the elites of the 9 Profound Emperor palaces and retreat towards the north of Dongqian Tianyu, leaving the 9 Profound Emperor palaces to demon race. Today's 9 Profound Emperor Palace is also guarded by a demon race demon emperor. Intermediate demon emperor Zan Lai. A demon emperor who was even more powerful than Zan Yuan. At this moment, Zan Lai stood proudly above the 9 Profound Emperor Palace, looking straight in the direction of Tianshao Emperor City. Just now, he got the news from Lord Zan Yan. Zan Yuan, who guarded Tianshao Emperor City, suddenly and inexplicably died. Although Zan Yuan is only a junior demon emperor and is slightly inferior to him in strength, he is still a genuine demon race demon emperor. Even an ordinary human race martial emperor cannot kill Zan Yuan silently. What happened in Tianshao Emperor City? Zan Lai frowned. Battle. The main force of the demon race confronts the human race of Dongqian Tianyu in the north. Lord Zan Yan left matters in the south to him and asked him to find out the situation in Tianshao Emperor City. But Zan Yuan's death was too strange. The existence that can kill Zan Yuan so quietly is definitely stronger than him, and he doesn't dare to go to Tianshao Emperor City rashly. No matter who you are, I will be waiting for you at the 9 Profound Emperor Palace. Zan Lai muttered to himself. Staying unchanged in response to all changes is his best choice now. If those who killed Zan Yuan were really human race reinforcements from other realms, they would definitely take action next. And their next target is most likely the 9 Profound Emperor Palace that he guards. Next, He only needs to wait for work in the 9 Profound Emperor's palace, and he can naturally wait for the human race reinforcements to show up. Zan Lai was not worried that he would follow in Zan Yuan's footsteps. The reason why Zan Yuan fell suddenly was most likely because he was caught off guard by the human race reinforcements from other realms. Now he got a reminder from Lord Zan Yan. Even if there is a top-level martial emperor among the human race reinforcements, it may not be easy to kill him. Think of this. Zan Lai withdrew his gaze and was about to leave when he sensed something keenly. He suddenly raised his head and looked towards the sky, and saw 3 powerful human race men with extraordinary auras walking through the void, slowly heading towards the 9 Profound Emperor Palace. The first person was actually a little girl less than 10 years old. Behind the little girl is a young man with a feather fan and a turban, and a young man with a blue sword on his back. Although the auras of the 3 people did not reach the level of the martial emperor realm, they far surpassed the top-level martial saints of the human race. Zan Lai's pupils couldn't help but shrink suddenly. Half-emperor. And they are 3 such young half-emperors. Such human race monsters are extremely rare even in the main world of Xuanwang. While Zan Lai looked at the 3 Taoist figures, the 3 Taoist figures also crossed thousands of miles of space and appeared directly in front of Zan Lai. These 3 Taoist figures are naturally Yu Wushwang and the others. After the battle with the Demon Emperor Zanyuan, Yu Wushwang and the other 3 have gained a lot, and they have all broken through half of the Emperor realm. With the combat power of 3 people, under the martial emperor, almost everyone was killed instantly. The 3 of them no longer had much interest in the low-end game, so they went straight to the 9 Profound Emperor Palace to kill them. I never thought that peerless monsters like you could be born outside the main world of Xuanwang Great World. Zan Lai stared at Yu Wushwang and the others, and slowly said, "Did you kill Zan Yuan in Tianshao Emperor City?" "Yes, it's us." Yu Wushwang raised his head and glanced at Zan Lai, and said calmly, "But don't worry, we will send you to reunite with him soon." "Ha ha, it's just you." Zan Lai suddenly laughed with disdain. Although he didn't know whether Zan Yuan really fell at the hands of these 3 people, it was simply wishful thinking for the 3 human race half-emperors to kill him. Demonic energy surged all over his body, and he looked down at Yu Wushwang and the others with disdain, and his arrogant voice instantly resounded throughout the world. "Come, I will give you a chance to kill me. You 3 can do it together." Half-emperor and martial emperor. Although they both have the character emperor, there is a very big gap in their strength. Normal circumstances, even a junior martial emperor who has just broken through can pin 3 half-emperors to the ground and rub them against each other. He is a powerful demon race mid-level demon emperor, and his combat power is even superior to that of the human race mid-level martial emperor. Although the 3 half-emperors in front of them are all peerless monsters, and their combat power should be far better than that of ordinary half-emperors, they are not qualified to act wild in front of him. Since you are so eager to seek death, then we will help you. Brothers, copycats, come on. When Yu Wushwang spoke, the Chenjiang Emperor's body suddenly condensed. A ray of moonlight sword energy descended from the starry sky, like the Milky Way bursting its banks, pouring down on Zan Lai with the vast power of the sword. Yi Lin also did not hesitate. He instantly transformed into a blue giant and swung his sword towards Zan Lai to kill him. Tuoba Zan practices Confucianism. Although he cannot condense the body of a martial emperor like the Emperor Realm martial artist of the Xuanwang Great World, he can speak Dharma and control the power of the 5 elements of heaven and earth, evolving into a god who controls the power of the 5 elements. Each of the 3 powers with different attributes is almost enough to compete with the powerful Emperor Realm warriors. Even Zan Lai, who was a mid-level demon emperor, was shocked by the terrifying combat power burst out by Yu Wushwang and the others. He did not dare to show any lightness and quickly started fighting Yu Wushwang and the others with all his strength. Rumble. 4 different forces are constantly intertwined, causing the void within a radius of thousands of miles to continue to collapse, as if the end is coming. Zan Lai is worthy of being the mid-level demon emperor of Zan demon race, and is extremely powerful. With 1 against 3, facing the powerful offensive of Yu Wushwang and the others, they did not fall behind at all. On the contrary, Yu Wushwang and the others were vaguely unable to succeed in the constant battle with Zan Lai, and were gradually suppressed by Zan Lai, who became more and more courageous as he fought. Boom! There was another loud noise. Zan Lai's powerful fist with demonic flames knocked Yu Wushwang and the others flying hundreds of feet. He looked down at Yu Wushwang and the others like a peerless great demon, and his cold voice resounded throughout the world. I have to admit that the combat power of the three of you is indeed beyond imagination, but you are still a bit immature if you want to act wild in front of this emperor. Although the three of them are only half-emperors, each of them is no less powerful than an ordinary human race martial emperor. It's just Zan Yuan, the first-level demon emperor. If he's a little careless, he might really fall into the hands of these three people. Senior sister, this guy is very strong and we can't seem to beat him. What should we do now? Should we call Master? Yi Lin looked at the soaring Zan Lai and couldn't help but ask in a low voice next to Yu Wushwang. Call Mao Yao. Junior brother, you are also a person with the immortal sword body after all. Can you be more successful? Since Half-Emperor Realm can't kill this guy, let's go to another level. Yu Wushwang glanced at Yi Lin and said lightly. ... Yi Lin was speechless. Half-Emperor Realm is one level up, and that is the Martial Emperor Realm. Although their talents are extraordinary, the Emperor Realm is not something they can break through if they want. Hee. Little girl, you are not afraid of flashing your tongue when you speak big words. If you are a martial artist, you can break through the Emperor Realm if you want to. Hearing Yu Wushwang's words, Zan Lai suddenly mocked with disdain. Although there is only one step away from the Half-Emperor and the Martial Emperor, it is not an easy task to take this step. And, as far as Zan Lai knows, Xuanwang Great World Human Race Martial Arts breaks through the Martial Emperor Realm and comprehends the Martial Dao Law, which is an act against heaven and requires the baptism of thunder tribulation. Every human race half-emperor who breaks through the Martial Emperor needs to be fully prepared. Otherwise, if you are slightly careless, not only will you not be able to realize the Martial Emperor, you may even be wiped out by the thunder tribulation. Even if the three people in front of them really have the foundation to break through the Martial Emperor, they would never dare to break through the Martial Emperor realm rashly under such circumstances. Yu Wushwang was too lazy to pay attention to Zan Lai. Her hands changed rapidly, and terrifying energy fluctuations spread out from her palms, causing the void to begin to tremble. Stealing the sky in exchange for the moon. Yu Wushwang shouted softly, and the color of the world changed. The Nine Profound Emperor Palace, which was originally clear and clear, turned dark in the blink of an eye. The scorching sun hanging in the sky instantly turned into a bright moon that shone brightly across the earth. Above the bright moon, a terrifying energy poured down and landed on Yu Wushwang's body, causing Yu Wushwang's aura to begin to surge rapidly. Just for a moment, Yu Wushwang's aura has entered a whole new level. Wu Emperor Realm. Looking at the scene in front of him, Zan Lai's pupils couldn't help but shrink suddenly. He never expected it. Yu Wushwang actually dared to forcefully break through the Emperor Realm at this time. Yu Wushwang bathed in the power of the bright moon, looked at Zan Lai and said calmly, "Isn't it just a breakthrough to the Emperor Realm? Why is it not easy? Why don't you just have the skills?" ... Hearing Yu Wushwang's words, the corner of Zan Lai's mouth twitched. He couldn't help but snorted coldly and said, "Little girl, don't be too happy too early. Let's wait until you have passed the Emperor's calamity. Imperial calamity. This is the key to becoming the human race martial emperor. Only those who have survived the Imperial tribulation can be considered the true human race martial emperor." As Zan Lai's words fell, in the void above Yu Wushwang's head, there were also bursts of roaring sounds. The terrifying power of thunder keeps rolling like a dragon and snake swimming around. Dongchen Tianyu Tiandao, can we discuss it and wait until I finish this battle to survive this Imperial tribulation? Yu Wushwang looked up at the thunder tribulation in the void and suddenly asked. Yu Wushwang's words instantly made Zan Lai and the other two people numb with shock. Discuss with Tiandao to postpone the Imperial tribulation. What is this operation? However, what shocked Zan Lai and the other three people even more? Void was in thunder tribulation, as if he understood Yu Wushwang's words. I saw that the thunder tribulation that was constantly brewing actually dissipated quickly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Just the blink of an eye. The power of thunder in the void completely dissipated without a trace, as if it had never appeared. How is it possible? Zan Lai stared at Yu Wushwang, and an incredible look of horror finally appeared in his eyes. Although the Dongchen Tianyu is only a part of the Xuanwang Great World, and the laws of heaven are not strong, it can only break through the true immortal of the martial emperor, and barely has the qualifications to talk to it on an equal footing. But the girl in front of me is far from reaching the true immortal realm. With just one word, the imperial calamity can be retreated. Unless there is something behind this little girl that makes even Dongchen Tianyu and Heavenly Tao fear her. Zan Lai was shocked in his heart. What is the origin of this little girl in front of me? Yu Wushuang stole the sky and exchanged the moon, retreated from the imperial tribulation with one word, and easily stepped into the realm of the martial emperor. She looked up at Zan Lai, full of fighting spirit. Fight, demon race, come fight. Before Yu Wushuang finished speaking, she swung her sword towards Zan Lai and killed him. After breaking through the emperor realm, Yu Wushuang's strength instantly increased countless times. And, stealing the sky and exchanging the moon is originally the martial Tao law that Yu Wushuang understood and mastered through the power of the lunar yin. With the blessing of this kind of power, Yu Wushuang's aura at this moment is not inferior to that of the mid-level martial emperor. Even Zan Lai felt an extremely dangerous aura from Yu Wushuang at this moment. He didn't dare to have any reservation at all, and used all his strength to activate the fighting demon body, and fought with Yu Wushuang. After a few moves, Zan Lai became more and more frightened. Facing Yu Wushuang, who had broken through the emperor realm, he was no match at all. He was almost completely at a disadvantage throughout the fight. Boom! Another shocking blow. Zan Lai's 1,000-foot-long demonic body flew backwards 100 feet, knocking out a huge black hole in the space along the way. He suppressed the surging breath in his body. Before he could catch his breath, the heavenly gate opened wide in the void, and a peerless figure whose aura suppressed the world came across the sky and swung his sword at Zan Lai. A sword from the moon god. After breaking through the emperor realm, Yu Wushuang once again used this move to reach the immortal level of the peerless divine ability, and its power instantly reached an extremely terrifying level. This sword spans space and time. Even Zan Lai, the middle-level demon emperor, was struck by a sword before he could even react. Immediately, a ray of moonlight sword light spread rapidly downward from Zan Lai's head. In just the blink of an eye, it penetrated Zan Lai's 1,000-foot-long demonic body and split it into two halves with one sword strike. No, Zan Lai looked horrified. Without any hesitation, the primordial spirit decisively left the body and turned into a black light and escaped from the 1,000-foot-long demonic body. And at the moment when Zan Lai's primordial spirit left the body, the 1,000-foot-long demonic body collapsed under the light of the Yuehua sword. Looking at Yu Wushuang, who was like a peerless empress, with only the primordial spirit remaining, she felt a numbness in her scalp. Human race is indeed the most creative race in all the worlds. Their innate is weak and cannot compare with the demon race. Under the same realm, demon race can easily crush most of the strong martial Tao players in human race. But the seemingly weak human race will always give birth to some extraordinary geniuses that cannot be measured by common sense. For example, the one in front of me. Half an emperor realm has strength comparable to that of a martial emperor realm. Now that he has broken through the emperor realm, even he, the middle-level demon emperor, has no power to fight back. It is precisely because of the existence of these unique geniuses of human race. After the demon race arrived in the Xuanwang Great World, it encountered strong resistance from the human race and was unable to make the Xuanwang Great World surrender to the demon race. Just when Zan Lai was frightened, Yu Wushuang didn't intend to give him any chance to breathe. A peerless sword light split the heaven and earth and slashed straight down at the fierce primordial spirit. Zan Lai's expression changed drastically. The combat power that Yu Wushuang unleashed at this moment was even difficult for him to contend with even in his prime. Not to mention that only primordial spirit is left now. His heart was filled with fear, and he quickly shouted for help with a look of horror on his face. Master Zan Yan, help! Buzz! As Zan Lai's cry for help fell, a space fluctuation suddenly rippled from the sky above Zan Lai's head. Next moment, I saw an illusory magic hand protruding from the empty space, directly grabbing the sword light that cut through the world, and then crushing it lightly. The sword light shattered, and an old man in black slowly walked out of the void. The old man in black had no breath in his body and looked just like an ordinary old man. But as soon as he appeared here, the world seemed to stop at this moment. Even Yu Wushwang, who had broken through the Emperor realm, seemed to be imprisoned in place by an invisible force, unable to move at all. Magic Fairy. This old man in black is obviously a demon immortal who has surpassed the level of the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor and the Demon Fairy, like the human race Martial Emperor and the True Immortal, are two completely different levels. In front of the powerful people in the fairyland, the Martial Emperor is no different from real ants, and can kill a group of them with one slap. It is very difficult to counterattack the Emperor realm with the Martial Saint realm, but there are always some peerless monsters in the world who can do it. But it is simply impossible to kill True Immortal with Emperor realm's force. Kill immortals with mortals. From ancient times to the present, no one has ever done it in the Xuanwang Great World. What a genius of human race. The old man in black stared at Yu Wushwang, and a look of horror that could not be concealed flashed across his pair of deep demonic eyes. The little human race girl in front of me has a talent that is rare in the world. Even if it were placed in the main world of Xuanwang, it would probably be one of the best. If it is allowed to grow, I am afraid that human race will give birth to another peerless strongman who is not inferior to Yi Qinglian. By the time, not to mention their demon race branch clan, even the main demon race clan in the main world of Xuanwang, there are probably not many people who can rival it. It must be killed. Such an existence, as long as she is given a slight chance, she may be able to overturn the Dongchen Tianyu human race and bring them catastrophe. The old man in black had murderous intent in his eyes. Just when he was about to kill Yu Wushwang with one blow, the still space around him seemed to make a sound like a broken mirror. Immediately, in front of Yu Wushwang, a space channel quickly condensed. Next moment, a young man in golden robe slowly walked out of the space passage. As soon as the golden-robed young man appeared, Yu Wushwang and others felt that the power that restricted everything around them dissipated out of thin air, and they instantly regained their freedom. The young man in golden robe is naturally Yi Lingtian. Although he was in Tianshao Emperor City, he had been paying attention to the situation of Yu Wushwang and the others. Yi Lingtian didn't expect it either. Yu Wushwang and the others were so brave. After leaving Tianshao Emperor City, they went directly to the Nine Profound Emperor Palace to fight Demon Race, the mid-level Demon Emperor. In the end, Yu Wushwang stole the sky and changed the moon, directly breaking through the Demon Emperor realm, beating the middle-level Demon Emperor to the point where he was unable to fight back, and directly forced the Demon Race Demon Immortal to descend. Yi Lingtian was fighting Demon Race. The moment the Demon Fairy arrived, he also came directly through the air. He originally planned to separate the two demon fairies, Demon Race, and then defeat them one by one. I didn't expect the opportunity to come up so quickly. Not bad, we broke through the Emperor realm so quickly. Looking at Yu Wushwang behind him, Yi Lingtian couldn't help but nodded with satisfaction. If Wu Emperor realm wants to break through, he can break through directly. Even Tian Dao Emperor Jia has to give this little girl some face. The peerless immortal body is indeed the darling of heaven, and the treatment is indeed extraordinary. Seeing Yi Lingtian's sudden arrival, Zan Yan couldn't help but stare at Yi Lingtian, and a gloomy voice slowly sounded out. Human race True Immortal. I never expected that True Immortal would exist in the four heavenly realms of the Xuanwang Great World. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.